Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. Are you tired of the bar scene, hoping to find the love of your life? Well, there is a better way for you single guys and ladies out there. Check out WeThePeople.dating. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating for the love of people and people of love. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
This is Just a Minute with Stacey Washington. Romans 13:1 exhorts believers to honor the governing authorities, which means at a minimum, believers are to do three things. First, research the candidates and issues from the biblical worldview. Any issue that stands against God's word must be considered in the light of eternity. That means voting based upon the facts as they stand, not our emotions. Second, make voting a priority. Not voting does not absolve us of what our government does. As taxpayers, we are contributing to every decision that is made. In the Bible, God never looks at the outer man. It is the heart that matters to him, and we are all his creation, but we are fallen. If we use the bad behaviors of some to justify disobeying God's word in the voting booth, we are no better than those who have sinned against us. Third, pray for guidance. God is not a man that he should lie, and it is never his will that we should condone or excuse sin. I'm Stacey Washington. Find out more at StaceyOnTheRight.com.
There's a better way to meet people without having to suffer through all the crazies. Weed out all the nutty people with WeThePeople.dating. That's WeThePeople.dating. It's easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
The mothership has landed.
All right, let's get right to a caravan update. Not a Dodge Caravan update, a caravan that's coming up from Central America.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk about your mom's car.
Dodge Caravans are nice vehicles.
Apparently, it has now grown to between 5,000 and 10,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
I guess those estimates are being done by the Capitol Police. Somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 people.
What are we going to feed them?
It could be 1 million. It could be 2 million. It's right in there, somewhere in there. So if it's true that it was around 2,000, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was 5,000.
Yep.
And then it's 10,000 now? So either they're being lied to,
Yes.
then it's not really that big, and then you say, why would the media lie about something like that?
Why would the media lie about something like that?
Politics, the midterm elections. 2 weeks from today, by the way.
Yes.
Or it has grown to that huge number, and you're like, how are they picking up that many people that are just saying, you know what, I'm in, take me. I will just march with you thousands of miles.
They thought it was Forrest Gump.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, they thought they were following Forrest Gump.
Just keep on running. Think about that, Brad.
That's a lot of people.
They expect you to believe that 10,000 people just said, that's it. I'm out. Let's go. With no food, no supplies. Then they say, well, no, people are helping them along the way. And you go, okay, well,
yeah.
Who's helping them, Brad? Mexicans. Last I heard, Mexico not doing so well. So you mean millions, thousands, whatever, of Mexicans just handing out, just going, here you go. Here you go. Tortilla, water, tortilla.
You would think it'd be like a herd of locusts. I mean, that many people are going to eat a lot of food. Where's it all coming from?
Right. So they're just handing this stuff out.
Yeah. Yep.
So thousands of people for what would be thousands of miles are planning on just marching.
Yep. Yep.
And they're just getting stuff along the way. Okay. Average person can walk about 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
With a nice pace, you're 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Not lagging behind, great. They had to go 2,000 miles divided by 3. That would be 667 days, I rounded up.
That's a long time. I don't think they've been walking that long.
No.
So
I was like,
at night they're running.
So, look at these people. Look at them. They're on the monitors right now.
They're not.
They're carrying signs. Come on.
They just happen to have the signs with them in their backpacks. That's all.
And here's the next thing. Even if you were so inspired, right? You're out there and you're like, holy crud, what's that, Brad? What are they doing over there? What is that?
It looks like they're having, look at
that
all those people.
Oh, it's a caravan? You're going to I'm in, boom. And you run over and you join it. Brad, how long would you march with these goofs through the desert before you would go, wait a minute.
Where are we going?
Right? You'd be going, I would be maybe a day. First of all, I'm going to be bitching within an hour. I'm going to be going, where's the food? What's the, what are we doing? Nobody knows? Okay, hang on. Are we going to Brownsville? Or are we going to Tijuana?
Right.
Are we going over towards San Diego? Are we going to Texas?
And what are we doing when we get there?
Right, we don't know. By the way, it adds like hundreds of more miles if you go over to San Diego.
Yes.
So we're just going to kind of get up to the middle of Mexico and just say we may add hundreds. Let's go to the shorter way. And then you find out what we don't know what we're doing when we get there.
No, we're just going to go ring the doorbell, see what happens.
And 10,000 people and growing are like, that sounds like one hell of a plan to me.
Yeah, it's I don't. And what are they going to do when they get to the border and the Border Patrol does not let them in? Do they all turn around and march all the way back? Does it just dissipate? Do they set up camp there? It's hello,
ICE. Can we come in?
No está en casa.
Can't
no está en casa. Go away.
Ding dong.
Gave it the office.
All right, they said we can't come in, guys. We can't allow. Just turn it around.
Turn around.
What are you talking about? We're expected to believe this madness. They keep reporting this crap. It's not real.
No.
Come on, we don't know. They could have promised those people tickets to Disneyland. This could be a ride at Disneyland.
Yes, it could.
I don't even know if there's actually people marching. This could be bogus footage. They should be filming a movie. This could be a pageant like Wag the Dog.
Could be CGI.
And the culpable media in this. Oh, my gosh. This is fake. I mean, a buddy of mine, I had dinner with him last night. And getting into too many details because he could only tell me. He said he is working with a guy who's been investigating social media and the way social media manipulates things. And specifically when it comes to news stories.
Right.
So let's say you want to look up somebody who's running for office. It autofills differently for all of us when you type something in.
Right.
And it shows how they absolutely, Google in particular, absolutely manipulating all of this stuff. And he said who's the guy who did the Clinton Cash book? Can't think of his name. Anyway, he has a movie out called The Creepy Line.
Right.
And it's about this. And he goes, Doc, he looked at the numbers. They did a study on, they had to come up with a way to test this. So they got a bunch of people together and they put them in different groups and have them search for things. And the stories they had them look for were from like 2010, who was running for some office in Australia. So there would be no individual bias. We don't know who was running in Australia 10 years ago. So they had it, and they were fed a steady stream of misinformation, completely lopsided. 90-some% would never get the other side of the story.
Right.
It's all a lie. Folks, this is grand conspiracy, futuristic, creepy movie. We're living in the Matrix lie when it comes to the media. I'm serious. This is, and you know me, I'm cynical about this stuff. I'm skeptical. It's a lie. It's a fabrication. Most people have no idea they're being manipulated. Those of us listen to this broadcast, cynical, we go through this stuff every day, have only a small fraction of the knowledge of how we're being manipulated. And that's the scary part. Those of us that are most informed still have no clue.
Most people are too busy, again, leading their lives, doing their jobs, working, trying to make ends meet to delve into this information any deeper than on a cursory level.
Right.
And so it's easy to fool people because all you do is throw some scrap out there and people will gobble it up.
Well, and look at what do you call urban legends over the years, how those were, right? We live urban legends now. That's where we are. All across the board, that's our lives. All of this stuff we see, they take a little nugget of truth, something that could be believed. It's crafted, the media. And remember, it doesn't have to be a grand conspiracy like tens of thousands of people are working for the central, new speak government agency. It doesn't have to be that. Couple of people pulling the strings, and they've put the pieces in place all along. Different news outlets, organizations, a couple of metrics in place at Google and it's done. It's over.
Yeah.
You only need a handful of people, and they're manipulating it. So you're right. Most of us have a lot going on in our lives. We want to trust this stuff. You cannot trust it.
No.
This is a perfect example. There's no way that this is rolling out the way the media is talking. How many people in their right mind would do this? How many people would just say, I'm throwing it down? Well, Doc, you don't understand how bad things are in those countries. Okay, I got it. So why are they coming all the way here?
Yeah. Why there had to have been at least a handful of places along the way that were better than where they were.
Right.
So why didn't they stop me? I'm good here. I can get a job. I can provide for whatever. Why do I have to march the rest of the way to the United States where they may or may not let us in?
And you don't think the wives that are along are going to tell you that this is fine right here? I don't know why you're going all the way to the U.S. This looks fine.
This looks just great, right? And for one, if I was listening to that, I would say, you know what? You're right. This looks great. Let's stop here.
How come Juan's family has cardboard to sleep on? You couldn't have gotten us cardboard?
We're not good enough for cardboard? Is that what you're trying to say?
You couldn't get us some plastic or something? Just a couple little scraps? Everybody else has plastic and cardboard. Okay, thanks.
It's crazy.
Maybe that's why they keep telling us there's so many women, and yet we don't see pictures of women. They've gotten them out in the desert, and they're like, "That's it. I've had enough."
Give me the shovel.
Where's the hey?
Yep. There really aren't big. Yeah, you're right.
What happened to Maria? She wasn't here.
There's not a lot.
Yeah, she started with you. Nope. She's backing on. I told her I'd go ahead, forge a new path for her.
She's at the house. I left her at the house. She was fine. She was
tragic
healthy,
accident,
breathing in and out when I left. I don't know if she's not there. I don't know what happened to her.
The AP has told lots of stories about the migrants, lots of them, including 28-year-old Carlos. Carlos from Honduras. We'll just call him Carlos from Honduras.
That's a good idea.
He explains that he was cutting the grass in his father's yard when he heard the caravan, dropped the shears on the ground, and ran to join with the caravan, only with about $20 in his pocket. There they are. He heard about it. He said he immediately dropped the shears. This is the AP reporting this. Immediately dropped the shears to the ground and ran. He only had about $20 in his pocket. That's it.
That is a scene from a movie. That's somebody joining the circus.
Yes, it's fiction.
Yes,
is what it is.
Yes, that's what that is.
Because
drop the shears.
I'm just going to drop him, and here we go. I mean, he didn't tell. He's cutting the grass at his dad's yard. He didn't even say, "Papa."
No,
I'm out.
Vamonos,
Nothing.
Vamonos.
He's just
We're
gone.
Yeah, that's nuts.
They tell us that this is about families and keeping families together, but from stories like this, you're telling me that families don't really matter that much. You're not. Do you leave a note?
It sounds like Carlos is just trying to get out of trimming the hedges.
That's what I think. You wouldn't at least. No, seriously, they're coming. I gotta go. Just wanted to let you know.
Papa, vamonos, bye-bye.
What are you talking about?
You trim those hedges before you leave.
Do you just pass people on the street? Go, hey, tell my dad I joined the caravan. Nothing.
Why? And why, if you just see a big caravan of people, does it make you want to? Where they say, hey,
I just had to do it.
We're going to the United States.
So much fun. Well, he yelled, supposedly. This again, AP's reporting on him. They heard him yell a couple of times to everybody else marching. We're going to the promised land. We're going to. Is this him for 2,000 miles? Yeah, we know about the promised land. That's why we're all here. You've been screaming that for 1,600 miles, 400 days. Me without plastic and the wife and the blah, blah, blah. And you're just happy. Oh, he'd be getting a smackdown. You going to deal with this for 700 days?
No.
No, of course not.
No.
How about Dad who comes out and goes, Hey, how are the hedges coming?
Carlos!
How's
Carlos!
what the hell?
Where did Carlos? There's his hedge. There's the trimmers on the ground.
I hope something didn't happen to him. The
Wait.
trimmers on the ground.
Wait, I recall seeing a caravan of people going by the house. I wonder if they swallowed him.
Hey, has anybody seen Carlos? No, not you and you and you and you and you. No, not Cart. No, keep Cart. Damn it. Damn it.
And how
Has anyone seen this man?
and how long must it take if you are standing in one place along that route for the caravan to go by? It has to be hours.
I guarantee you they're going by my house because I'm trying to leave for work.
Yeah.
You're at the edge of it. You're like, damn, okay, how?
Come on. Yeah.
Can't see.
Can't see the end of it. It's like a train.
Oh, and you know what happened?
It's stalled.
Here's what would happen. Honey, come on, hurry up. There's a caravan coming down the road. No, they're down at Carlos's house. No, the other Carlos.
Yeah. No,
The
not
other one at the end.
with the dad. He's trimming the hedges. The guy's with that one. Yeah.
4 houses. Hurry up. We're going to get, seriously, 3 houses? Okay, damn it. And you're just sitting there. How long is this? How? Can I just on the side of the.
And I didn't see any vehicles in the. Are there vehicles in this caravan too?
Yes, there are some. Here's what's going on with the vehicles.
What did they do?
The AP and other news outlets are showing some trucks that are helping people.
Okay.
And they wrote these very touching stories about how some of the people, can't walk as fast or as well, maybe injured. So these trucks will go to the back of the caravan and load up people and then ferry them up to the beginning. Okay? And they let them
Like
off.
leapfrog?
Yes. Now,
Okay.
Here's the thing. They even talked about how some of the trucks get so weighted down, you could hear the springs, right, grinding that. And I'm like, why don't they just make a couple more trips?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you the problem with that. So let's say you get a bunch of people up there. Okay?
Yeah.
How long's the caravan? Let's say it's 6 miles long.
Yeah,
And you
it's
save
at
them
least.
6 miles, right? Wow, 6 miles.
That's a long
That's
caravan.
incredible. Yeah. What about the other 994 miles they have to walk? I appreciate you shaving 6 miles off of the thing. I still have to walk 2,000 miles. And what about everybody else, right?
Yeah.
You're like, we're loaded up. Son of a bitch.
That's the 3rd time I've seen Carlos go by on the
What
truck.
the hell?
How come he gets a ride?
I'm going to have to hold back it to the end of the line. You done?
Do they have like beer on the trucks?
I don't know.
Somebody's got to be.
Somebody's drinking here. They're not. None of this makes any sense. This is crap, but doesn't that tell a great story?
Yes.
You just were ferrying them up to the beginning of the zoom right up there to the front.
136 hours.
You know what I'm doing. If they keep doing that, they ferry me up to the front, and I just no, go ahead, go ahead. Get to the back of the line, right? Hola, can I get a ride? Right? My foot. It's my foot.
Ouch. I can't walk.
Ouch.
It hurts.
Dragging my leg.
Okay, so you're right down here. 402 miles took 136 hours. That's about 3 miles an hour.
Yep. And is that 24 hours a day?
That's a good
So
question.
you're walking 24 hours
And
a
that's
day.
just that little tiny piece of land right there.
Right.
They got to go all the way up.
Look at how far they are from some resorts. I think I just go there.
Yeah, who's going to stop them? You get that many people show up at the gate of the Marriott. There's
Wow.
no stopping them.
Yeah.
We're coming in and we're hungry.
Wait a minute. You're right. I can crash the gates of the United States that's thousands of miles away. Or we could just take down the Marriott.
Yes. Mhm.
We could just go to Sandals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be sustainable for years, but damn, I could be here for a couple of days eating steaks and beer.
But they've got
And
the
how
food
far of
there.
a detour is that? It can't be more than a couple hundred miles, yet you're willing to detour more than that to get over to San Diego? Oh, please.
And it's because they don't even know where it's exactly headed.
They don't. They
Could
have
be-
no idea. They do not know where it's going. It's just going that way.
Right. So does that mean that the 4 or 5 people at the front decide when, you know what? Let's turn left. Let's Let's go left.
Maybe
No,
they
I
think
wanna
somebody
go
else
right.
is making the decision.
Yeah, because Tijuana is like 2,600 miles away from where they
Right.
were headed, as opposed to Brownsville,
Right.
which is only 1,100 miles. Now, if it's me, I say we go to Brownsville because
It's closer.
it's a lot closer,
Mhm.
a lot closer, and it's only 362 hours away at 3 miles an hour.
So how many days?
Let's see. Well, if you've got
Because that's a long time.
362.
Hey,
divided by
Sandals is
24.
right over there.
That's 15 days if you walk 24 hours a day.
Yeah, they're not walking 24/7.
No, they're not. So that's they say they're supposed to arrive about the time. Well, 2 weeks from now. That can't be possible because
Unless 24/7. This is all a scam,
they
folks. It's
cannot be
all-
walking 24
all-
hours a day.
No, because they keep showing them resting, too.
Uh-huh.
It's so hot and stuff.
Yeah,
This is all a lie. It's all a lie.
but it's really good because it looks good on TV.
What I'm going to want if the caravan passes by, because, they're not violent at all. They have not been violent. They're only taking handouts. There's no theft, nothing. They're not stealing anything along the way. Please. What you want is a gun. That's what you want. If you know the caravan's passing through your neighborhood, you're definitely going to want a gun. And if you are not already a firearms owner, let me suggest going to tarriverarms.com. It's tarriverarms.com. They have revolutionized purchasing guns online. They have modernized the entire thing. The biggest issue probably when you're looking at firearms online, you can't see the gun enough.
No,
Same issue with shoes and anything else you want. And we've come to understand how the process worked. I remember 15, 20 years ago, people going, you can't buy clothes online because you got to try them on.
Right.
No, you know your size, you know some of the basics of it or whatever. But the one thing you need is really good pictures. And initially you get shoes and you're like, okay, those look good, but what is the back? I can't see what the back.
Right.
Now you look at it and you'll see 4 or 5 different pictures and you can zoom in on them, whatever. Tar River Arms has done that for buying firearms online, but they've taken it to an entirely new level because they have that 3D experience.
It's so cool.
So you click on the gun and you can rotate it. I mean, zoom in really, really close to see the grain of specks of dust on it and then spin the entire thing around. Brad is mesmerized by it.
I really am. This
I've
thing
seen
is
him
just so
throughout the
cool.
day just sitting there rotating, looking at the guns.
It's really what a great way to present these things online, because like you said, usually you can't see them. And who was it we were talking to said, I realized I wasn't cleaning the guns well enough because you could see the lint and everything on them.
Yeah, that's exactly
It's
it.
so cool.
TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized it, and another thing they've done to help you out is they're going to handle the pay the transfer fees, because you have to if you're going to buy online, you have to have it sent legally to somebody with a federal firearms license, an FFL.
Yeah.
So whoever that is in your town. The problem is they're going to be like, I want a couple of bucks too, buddy. So Tar River Arms, they take care of all of that. Free shipping, and they handle all of the transfer fees. So the price you see online is the price you get. Amazing deals, too. Some of the best prices out there. Listen to this. They have a package right now for a P365, which Ron shot, he said, at the SHOT Show. The 365, and that's a 6-hour, which I've heard it's a great gun.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards the 366, maybe the 367.
I got a 368, but I
The
didn't wanna-
370
I didn't
is what
wanna
I'm
brag.
really hoping to get,
I
though.
didn't want to brag. I just 371 that I brought with me today.
So the retail
nice.
price of a 365, $525, the holster $63, a 12-round magazine $40, total package value $696, but the Tar River Arms MoJo price $585
Amazing.
with free shipping and free transfer.
Amazing.
It's a veteran-owned business, so please check them out today. TarRiverArms.com.
You know, speaking of amazing, Mo Lynch over on MeWe.
Mo Lynch on
Mo
MeWe.
Lynch.
That all sounds made up to me.
It does. I think Mo is not real. Where do they go to the bathroom? 7,000
Holy crud.
7,000 people in line at the Shell station would be, hey, here's the key. Here's the key. Here's the key. I mean, these are the things you...
Oh, it's a traveling porta potties.
Is that what
Do
it
they
is? They're on a
really?
bus.
Damn,
Yeah.
that sounds like a band name.
The traveling porta potties. No, so here's what would happen. They're either randomly stopping to go. I imagine you could do that and then, I guess, catch up with the caravan if it's really long.
Okay, but again, that's a lot of people
Stopping, right.
stopping and...
Do they take restroom breaks? If that's the case, Again, they stop in front of your house. They're like, okay, restroom break. 10,000 people whizzing on your lawn.
Holy free holies.
I mean, it looks like San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
Only thing missing are the needles.
No, it's like a swath of Woodstock.
Is that what?
Just going down.
There's so many holes in this story that it's stunning.
Yep.
It cannot.
Can't be. The AP, though, continues this nonsense, though. They keep just ginning up all kinds of... They're like... I saw an article written, and it was this lengthy article with an update, and it was how basically Trump hates the immigrants, and these are people who are just fleeing oppression in their land and death and all of this stuff, a better life, all of that. Right. They mentioned a laundry worker from Guatemala named... Well, it doesn't matter. She joined the caravan. It doesn't. It's not real anyways. I don't even want sharing it.
Let's call her Maria.
Okay. She joined the caravan when it passed by. She was out there washing clothes. And then she said, listen, we only want to work. And if a job turns up in Mexico, I would do it. We would do anything except bad things.
She left the suds in the bucket and the clothes hanging out on the line and dropped and choo.
Brad, she is willing to do anything for a job except bad things.
And as long as she... Carlos, drop those hedge trimmers. Come with me.
What is bad things?
Well, $20, same as downtown.
Isn't that subjective?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. It's subjective because what's bad to you may not be bad to me.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean.
It's been my experience working for many, many companies over the years. Being willing to do bad things likely ensures you have a job.
Yep. Sure.
Higher pay and continued employment. Not in all cases. I'm just saying she maybe needs to be a little more flexible with her employment search.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you.
Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called Riduzone, RIDUZone.com, RIDUZone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to riduzone.com and try today. You're going to love it. Riduzone.com. Remember that, RIDUZone.com.
Doc Thompson, MoJo 50.
A dad was featured on social media, went kind of viral, and then a bunch of other media wrote about it because he punished his kid, his son, for being mean to his mom. So the kid's mean to his mom, mouthing off, whatever. So the dad punished him by escorting his, I think, 11-year-old son to the bus stop.
That was the punishment?
He was wearing a black dress.
The dad?
Yep.
How did that punish the kid?
Embarrassment. All of the experts online, they quoted Sylvia Snord better than parenting than you from the such and such magazine on good parenting says that's not the proper way to punish a child. And maybe dad was just, no, I'm punishing him. This will show him. And by the way, if this doesn't do the trick, I'm going to have sex with men. That will punish him, honey. Trust me.
This is going to hurt me
more than it hurts. Hopefully, if I do it right. It's going to go ahead and do that. All right, get the communiques in all across social media. Please sign up for a MeWe account, MeWe.com. Follow me and Brad and Ron. Follow all of us.
Ron Phillips.
I'm sorry?
Ron Phillips is his name over there. The cartel, the guy across the glass.
That's not right.
Yeah. The guy that you referred to
Ron,
as
what's your
guy.
No, that's
Phillips. Yes, Ron Phillips.
It doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't sound right.
It's like the light bulbs.
I'm going to have to see your ID on that one.
KY Spunkin' Bronut's a 6-mile train of people that doesn't end at Stormy Daniels. Doesn't end at Stormy. Seems like they're doing it wrong.
You know, You didn't have to say anything else. All you had to do was write.
That's it. That's
6 mile long train of Stormy Daniels. Done. Sweatnick's like,
Hey, Mo, want to know where the caravan of illegals do their business? Anywhere they want to.
Good point.
That's 1024th Spook Tank sleeve. Nice. Let's see. When the caravan stops at Sizzler and Mom goes to the bathroom, do they just leave her behind?
I think so.
JR
Sorry.
15. Actually, you know what that? back in high school, we were on one of the adventure club trips, and my friend Steve, we stopped at a place to go to the bathroom.
Is this the gay thing you told?
No, that's a totally different story.
never
Don't bring that one up.
Sorry.
So
edit that out, Ron.
We get an hour down the road, and we get how did he call us? Because that was before cell phones, and somehow we had left the bathroom.
Oh, you guys must have realized.
We had to drive. Yeah, we had to drive back an hour. It's hard to try to remember before cell phones how you communicated. I have no idea how the hell we communicated
Smoke
with
signals.
each other. It must have been because it was a CB radio. That's what it was. He used yes, it was a CB radio that he somehow
borrowed from somebody.
So boy, times have changed. Kathy in the Berg, the Marriott has to check their privilege. That's truth. That this caravan of people, of underprivileged people, of people down on their luck, goes by the Marriott. Doesn't the Marriott have a responsibility? Well, it's Marriott in Mexico, though. So
you could get Americans to sign up for this and to be on this caravan
and march
and pay you to do it.
Really? I get paid to do so?
No.
Oh.
No. We would get paid by people for them to go march. People would say, "We will pay you, Doc and Brad, to go march."
Okay, where are those people? Because if the number's right, I'll go march.
Brad, people go to dude ranches for vacation.
Yes, they do.
Working ranches.
Yeah. Yes.
All you do is call it immigrant fantasy camp. That's all you have to do is come up with some BS line like that.
Immigrant fantasy camp.
Mr. Staggs, welcome. I understand you're interested in immigrant fantasy camp.
Yes,
you
this
are
is so much
You're
fun.
so excited about it.
Yes, I can't wait.
You know what? That's why I do this. It's not about the huge amount of money I'm going to charge you right here for this. It has nothing to do with that. It's about the smile on your little face.
It is so worth it. I mean, I don't care how much it costs. I just want to get out there and march.
You really seem to try to associate with the and identify with to put yourself in the place of what they all go through. You have a big heart, Brad. Big heart, Mr. Stagg. So
this and the fact I'm married and I'm trying to get away from the wife.
I understand. So what you do is after you pay us the $3,800 for the 700 days,
cheap at twice the price.
Well, I mean, you have transportation down there. Otherwise, we have to.
Well, no, I don't.
Okay, that's going to be $4,800, but.
That's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. That's all right.
So what we do is we take you to Honduras and we just shove you out of the plane.
I love it.
We
and then
shove you out.
So when I get out, do I just start walking?
You do, and just try to find other people to walk with.
So if I see somebody
just
along,
walk along.
try to get them. Oh, this is going to be great.
What do you do? You see somebody like trimming bushes out in the yard, just yell, "Hey, caravan!"
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I cannot
and then
wait.
just make your way back. Now, you know, your package does not include any food.
Wait, what?
No food, no toiletries, nothing.
So where do we go to the bathroom?
No maps. Anywhere you want. Anywhere you want where they don't shoot you. Or maybe you want to be shot. I mean, that's the beauty of immigrant fantasy camp, Mr. Staggs.
That would be kind of exciting to be shot. I mean, they're not real bullets or anything, are they?
Yeah, absolutely real. Yeah. And the good thing is they're American bullets, though. They were part of the Fast and Furious program. So you're going to get shot with an American gun, which is nice.
That makes me feel better.
Now, when you get to the border, we're not going to let you in.
How do I get in?
You don't get in. Now there is a possibility, but you'll have to pay what's known as a coyote even more money to bring you into the country. So but once you get here,
exactly what
free
the brochure.
Free stuff. Everything's free.
Well, then that makes it worth it.
Isn't that awesome?
Makes it worth it.
Sounds like
makes
fun.
it really, really worth it. And there's a lot of women along this trail too, because I mean, I'm assuming out there.
Yeah,
a little exciting.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Good deal.
They're hidden. Unclean prostitutes and but have fun. Have fun with that.
Yes.
Hey, Dennis Omar Contreras.
Very nice.
It's close.
Very nice.
Said, and this is the AP quoting him, "There isn't a single terrorist here."
Not one.
He said, we are all people from Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. As far as I know, there are no terrorists in these 4 countries.
None of them. None of them. That is. But...
Do you know why he brought up terrorists? Because we've had reports that there were people marching that were not from Central America, but from Somalia and other places like the Middle East.
You know, if I was a terrorist and I wanted to find a way to get into the country, this would be a pretty easy way to do it. I mean, there's a whole gang of people or mob of people marching toward the border, and you know, pretty much they're all they're not being checked along the way. So I would just jump in right there with them. It's a hide in plain sight.
Now, Caravan spokeswoman Angelia Ramirez. Hey, who's going to talk to people for us? Is that a paid position?
If it is, I'd like to apply.
Welcome to Monster.com, Mr. Staggs. We have a couple of openings here. You said you want to travel?
I'd love
travel as part of your job here.
Love to travel.
Okay, good. We have one here, and you have some communication background.
Yes, I'm a professional communicator.
Okay. Well, we have an opening as a spokesperson.
I've done that before. I can do that.
It's in Honduras. It's a spokesperson in Honduras and Guatemala.
That's
and
kind of
Nicaragua and Mexico. You're going to travel thousands of miles on foot.
Do I get health insurance?
No. In fact, your health is going to be greatly impacted negatively. That's right.
I need the work, so I can.
So you're going to just speak for a mob.
Going to speak for.
Not the mob.
Okay. All right. Well, as long as it's not the mob, I can do this.
Your travel is going to be marching through Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador.
Do I get new shoes?
No, not at all.
Okay. This is starting to sound like
sounds fantastic.
It's a great deal.
So, anyways, the Caravan spokeswoman Angelina Ramirez says Donald Trump can say what he wants. At the end of the day, he knows he's not the king of the world.
No, that's because that's Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's right. She said, we're fighting for a cause, and thank God, and I think God will end up moving the hearts of the American people.
What cause are they fighting for exactly?
The marchers, I guess.
That's
something like that.
Cause. Okay.
See, God has moved the hearts of the American people. That's the reason America exists, and that's the reason we have given your country millions and millions of dollars over the years. That's the reason we welcome millions to immigrate here legally every year. And that's the reason that even though there are tens of millions of people here already illegally, we have not booted them the hell out in favor of the law.
Maybe when she said they're fighting for a cause, she was referring to Bill Cosby.
She didn't say the cause.
Oh,
because you're right. I thought about that too. She's like, I just love some Bill Cosby, and he was wrongly convicted.
Yes.
That's an entirely different story.
That would make sense. These people are marching to try to get the cause out of jail.
Now, he's from People Without Borders. Okay. I don't know how to say it. People Without Borders. He said it's a shame that a president so powerful uses this caravan for political ends.
Now, wait a minute. How has the president used the... Good grief, I'm defending Trump again. This is really irritating.
Because he has mentioned the caravan, and they say that's political for him to mention the caravan.
Well, technically... I've seen these stories. This technically would be considered an invading force, would it not?
Louis Gohmert said that. Louis Gohmert called it out, and he's right. At some point, you have to say, how are illegals not an invasion?
In those numbers, how do we know they're not armed?
I guess over the years, the argument would have been that they were not organized, that all of the illegals that have come here over the course of, talking millions of people over decades,
right?
They were not organized. They just randomly came here. I still call it an invasion because you can lump the people together some other ways. But when you're talking a caravan marching together,
yes.
Okay, now you are organized into a group.
Yeah, and we don't know that they're not. Well, that's crazy because, 7,000 people can't invade the country. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, that's true. We could just blow them away with a couple of
1 or 7,000 or 7 million. I don't care.
But that is his
You're not
job.
following the law.
As the president of the United States, that is his job to defend against such
Louis
things.
Gohmert brought up a couple interesting points when he called it an invasion. He said, we have to get the Department of Justice to find out where their funding is coming from. And this is our point. How are you able to march weeks and weeks, months potentially on end through this countryside that is rugged terrain, up through the desert. And we know how horrible it is, how taxing it is on people, how dangerous, because the media shows us that it's that dangerous.
Yes.
But you're telling us they have no food, but they've been marching for a month. They have no water. They're relying on handouts. 10,000 of them. We laid the entire thing out. It's crap. So where are they getting their money? And Louis says likely some of it's coming from the U.S. He said that could potentially be in violating the RICO laws.
Really?
Organized crime?
Yeah.
I mean,
it could be.
Are you organizing these caravans? Are you paying money for people to invade the U.S., to break our laws, to challenge all these things? It's not crazy to at least question that.
It seems like it would be, I was going to say, it seems like it would be pretty simple to find out. I mean, all you have to do is go to one of these vehicles that's traveling with the caravan and find out who they are, find out where they have to be stopping to get supplies somewhere.
God bless Donald Trump in this regard. I hope that he is not just being bombastic and triggering people. I hope it's not just about the election, because he threatened to cut off aid to Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. He threatened them with cutting their aid off. Now, he is not all powerful, because the power of the purse lies with Congress, specifically the House of Representatives. But he does have some recourse, and there are some things he can do, and he can influence it. First of all, he can use the bully pulpit. Number two, he can play politics when it comes to members of Congress and, sweeten things for them. Remember, the Republicans at this point still control the House of Representatives and the Senate. If that continues to happen. So he does have some power. But I hope he's serious, and I wish Congress would get serious. Threaten Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, and Nicaragua. And the country he left out was Mexico. Mexico's full of crap at this point. They're pretending that they're trying to help us and stop these migrants, but they are not. As we've said, they've actually given them aid. They're doing just enough so they can claim that they're helping. You know what this is? This is the Patriot Mobile argument that I always make with all of these other mobile companies. When we do the Patriot Mobile commercial, and I'll tell you, legitimately, they are the only non-progressive mobile company out there. Well, every other mobile company, if you challenge them and go, you stand against the Second Amendment, they'll go, no. We gave money to the NRA.
$30.
Yeah, how much did you give to everybody else? $400 million. The numbers are that vast, but they give just enough, just a couple of dollars so they can make that claim. This is what Mexico is doing here. Mexico, no, we're helping. We stopped him at that bridge. You let him come around, go across the water. You've been have certain departments of your government have been handing out water and supplies.
Well, I have good news, though. Because the president was asking how we don't know that, or how we are sure that there aren't unknown Middle Easterners coming in the caravan. And ABC News has a crew traveling with a caravan. They say they have not seen evidence to support Trump's claim. So ABC is.
Oh, good.
So ABC News has said that we're good.
So they
don't
can.
worry about it.
They know a terrorist when they see a terrorist.
They're ABC News, of course they do.
Wait a minute. So if you're telling me you can spot a terrorist,
Yep.
Because it's not like ABC traveling with them is going, okay, step number one, Brad, give me your identification, give me your fingerprints.
See, I'm not a terrorist. There's my not a terrorist ID card.
Bio scans and things. And, okay, we've done a complete background check on this guy.
Yep.
Go ahead, number two. Okay, so how else would they, unless you're doing a background check, you're telling me you can visually spot. What do you think? All terrorists are coming with RPGs on their back?
I can't believe you don't believe.
Or do you mean
News.
you've not spotted Middle Easterners?
ABC.
In which case, you're telling us that you believe, ABC, that all Middle Easterners are terrorists?
Wow.
Or only Middle Easterners can be terrorists? ABC, you're full of crap. Unless you've done the background checks, you're simply carrying water for the leftists. You are the mouthpiece
ABC
of the propaganda.
said it. I believe it. That's that.
Wow.
That's all I've got to say.
By the way, Trump has and the Republicans have together cut funding to Central America. So in 2016, Guatemala got 131 million. They got 69 million last year. Honduras, 2016, got 98 million. Last year, 66. El Salvador, 68 and 66. Overall, they've cut 40%. From 2016 to 2017. Now, it's not that I don't want to help these people, but you're missing something. we don't have the money.
I was going to say, it's hard to give when you don't have the cash, but somehow we seem to be able to do it.
Folks, when we talk about the deficit and the debt, of course, the debt is the accrued deficits over the years, which is now encroaching $22 trillion and growing every second. And obviously, the yearly deficits is the overspending. What does that mean? A lot of times, we don't stop to think what that means. That is a debt we owe.
Who do we owe it to, technically?
All kinds. It's spread to other countries. We owe it in promissory notes, people that invest in bonds and all kinds of things. But we owe this money. So we borrow money from other countries. And then we give money to other countries. Not loan, we give. So this is me going, Brad, I want you to give money. And you say, okay.
Sure. What do I need to?
But you don't have the money, right?
No, I have no money. But
so what I want you to do, Brad, can you borrow it from Ron and then give it to me? So what you'll do is you'll borrow it from Ron. Ron, you'll borrow it from Ron.
Yep.
And he's going to charge you interest.
Right.
You have to pay all of that.
Okay.
But then you just give it to me. So in this deal, you just get stuck paying interest.
Wow. Where do I sign up?
And you lose the money that you gave me.
This is getting better every day. I love it. This is
right.
That's the craziness of it.
We don't have the money.
No, we don't.
And we're giving it to them. Be nice to help, folks. Great. There are ways we can help. But it's not you invading the country.
No. That's the crazy part of all this. And theoretically, we give the money. I mean, first of all, governments don't give a crap about the moral end of things. This is about trying to keep other governments out of the hands of communists, out of other people who would maybe do bad things to people in that sense, or end up doing bad things to us. So we are giving them the money to try to keep other powers from taking over. And yet, this is what we get in return. This is, I mean, we're just. We have had stories. This is how bizarre it is. It's because the federal government has gotten too big, number one, and too political. We have borrowed money over the past 10, 15 years from China. We have said, China, listen, what's up, C? Hey.
What's up? Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Love the rice.
You want
love it.
You want money again, don't you?
Just I want to borrow some. No, I'm not asking you to give it to us. C, buddy. Buddy, I'm good for it. You know that, right?
That's what you said last time. You haven't paid us back.
Okay, listen, I'm good for it. Just charge us whatever interest you want, okay? So can I borrow it? Can you give me an interest? Okay, great.
Fine, how much?
And then we turn around and give that money to China for things like the environment. So China has the money to loan us and charge us interest. And we're like, see, thanks for the loan, buddy. I'm going to pay you back. You're going to get your interest. Let me just go ahead and give you this money now so you can help the environment. What are you talking about?
It's a giant shell game. We will never pay off the deficit. Ever.
If you have the money to loan, or if you need the loan, you should not be accepting or giving the money. Sorry.
If there was any possible way of us ever having a balanced budget again in this country, somebody in Congress, somebody somewhere would come up with a plan because it would be politically advantageous to them to do so. It's not possible. That's why there's been no congressional budget for how long now?
Oh,
how many years?
They've never balanced. It's been forever.
So it's never going to happen. So this all plays into the how does the revolution, the anarchy, whatever you want to call it,
how does it play out?
How does all this fit together?
It's coming to some sort of change.
Yes.
We'll not continue down this path. It's an unsustainable path. Will it be a shift and we'll change things slowly in a different direction, or will it come to a critical mass and there will be an explosion of sorts? I don't know, but I know it's unsustainable, and I know there will have to be changes sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's a farce. Everything we're going through right now is it's theater. That's all it is, theater.
I got to start running eating healthier again.
Why?
Been
We're
bad
all gonna
for
die.
No, it's just kicking my butt. Here's the problem with eating right, and that I don't when I am exercising properly and eating right and that, I don't wake up in the morning going, I feel great. I'm out to challenge the day. Ha ha. That's not what happens. I go like this. I go, okay, let's get another day. But when I'm not doing those things, my, okay, let's travel and let's go out is, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. But I never see the positive change. I only see the why is that?
That's God is a comedian playing to an audience who's afraid to laugh.
That's exactly it. Why. Brian, I should be eating right in that and going, all right, let's go. Like the Popeye eating his spinach or something. That's not the case.
No, it's you can manage to get out of bed and put one foot in front of the other.
I thought that today. I did not sleep well last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is not good. So gonna start. In fact, I had Gwen and Adam Rich, who run the richsolution.com. You check it out. I had they were in town last week for the Cigar and Spirits. Sorry. Did I get that right?
Yeah,
Cigar and Spirits magazine event.
Big cigar tasting.
And they were in town. Adam's a big cigar smoker, likes whatever. And I was like, oh, you guys got to tell me more about the supplements. It's kind of confusing when you talk about the supplements. It's just part of your daily regimen. People used to say vitamins or whatever. This takes it to an entirely different level. So if you've been struggling, like, oh, I got to get to work. I got to change my life, weight loss, whatever. Consider trying some of the supplements from therichsolution.com. Just look under supplements. They finally understood it might be a better heading on the top of their page as opposed to, I don't know, putting something about Liechtenstein with a drop down about dogs and cats, and then under there somewhere, possibly you could find supplements.
You just want to be straightforward with things. So supplements is the drop-down menu.
If you want to understand more about how they work and what they've done for Gwen Rich, read her story at therichsolution.com. Here's the bottom line, though. If you're looking to be healthier, feel a little bit better, the supplements likely will help you, as they've helped so many people, including Gwen Rich. You go there and look, and they had so many people going, okay, well, I don't know what to take for, and I don't know whatever, and this in my life. So they put together some packages. They said, we're going to combine this supplement and this one if you need better, I'm just spitball, like circulation or for your liver health or digestion. So you can buy a package like that. These are the best you can get. And what that means is if you go out and say, you know what, I'm going to take a bunch of vitamin C or zinc or something, some of these vitamins, these supplements, have to work in conjunction with something else.
Yeah.
So if you're just getting vitamin D or calcium without the two of them combined, you're not going to get the full effects you've been looking for. That's just not.
They have to work in conjunction with each other.
Right. The nice thing about the richsolution.com, they put these together so they will be working together properly. You need to take them in the proper groups.
For example, enhanced sex for women 50 plus.
That's up there?
That is one of the
Trust me, Adam put that one up there.
Yes, he did. Which means that, and Adam researches everything. So if you want to have enhanced sex for women 50 plus, this is the place to do it.
That may be a little misleading. Is that like for sexual health, or does that ensure I'm getting sex from women 50 plus?
That's a good question. I guess you'll just have to get the supplement and find out.
Take this supplement, and women 50 plus will be on you like white on rice. They will be laid on stank on poo, man. They will be all over you. I don't think that's what it means.
I'm not sure I'd want to use that analogy in conjunction with a supplement, but yes.
Try it today. See if it works.
Yes.
No, that one's a little misleading. TheRichSolution.com. Try it today. By the way, speaking of your health, the CDC, that's the Center for Disease Control, is warning people not to dress their cocks up for Halloween. And do not take your cocks trick-or-treating. The CDC says don't do that.
The what? You're not...
The Center for Disease Control. They have warned people, just listen, they have warned people that you could be infected if you handle them. So do not take them trick-or-treating or dress them up for Halloween.
Sounds a little strange to me, but okay.
They say when dressing a cock in a Halloween costume or sweater, it's easier for a person to come in contact with harmful bacteria, including salmonella, which were you aware that salmonella is a part of it?
I hadn't, but you must, are you... You're talking about...
CDC has warned don't kiss them or snuggle them, and don't touch your face or mouth if you do, because, again, you could be infected. That's going to be bad for you. You're familiar with the Center for Disease Control?
Yes, yeah, I'm
All right.
familiar with them.
All right, so you got Halloween coming up.
Yeah.
At Halloween, they're putting out the warning, do not take your cocks trick-or-treating or for Halloween at all. Don't dress them up.
Sounds like
because
a very odd thing for the CDC to want to.
You seem very concerned.
Very.
Is this something you've done?
No.
Okay. At least 92 people in 29 states have been infected with a strain of multi-drug resistant salmonella after coming in contact with cocks. No deaths were reported, but 21 were hospitalized. So, I mean, you got to take this seriously. Halloween is coming up just, a week from tomorrow?
Yeah,
so if this is something that you have taken part in or agreed to.
Very odd.
I just didn't know this was a thing. Wow, things have changed since I was a kid. I'm just not sure how chickens, what they have to do with Halloween, but...
chickens. Chickens. Gotcha. Makes...
Does that change your Halloween plans?
No. I just I understand now a little bit better what it was.
Chickens.
Chickens.
You don't dress them up for Halloween.
Now
Apparently people have been dressing them up.
Mm-hmm. Now I get it. Now
What do chickens have to do with Halloween?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
I think I have maybe an answer.
And that would be?
Crazy. We're crazy. We are.
Yes, we are definitely crazy.
Maybe Alex Jones is right. It's the four-eyes. It's turning the frogs gay. Maybe. I don't know. Something is going on. Should we have listened about that ozone layer, 30 years ago?
Maybe.
Something is making us. Have we always been this crazy? And social media has highlighted it. Are we crazier? People are insane.
It's possible that we're crazier, especially when you look at people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
When I was little, I would bitch about it. I'd be going, I can't believe the neighbors would do this. And my mom would go, hey, listen, people are just different. And I would say people are just a-holes, Mom. It's people that may be, but they're just different.
They are.
Maybe that's what she meant here. They're crazy.
I think that's...
People are just insane.
Yes.
Well, listen, if you are somebody who has been known to or were planning to dress your cock up for Halloween, to trick-or-treat, whatever, whether it's a sweater or a costume, don't do it. And if you do, make sure to wash your hands because chickens carry salmonella.
That's good advice. And
all right.
As a matter of fact, Stinky said it's a good message for all Halloweeners.
Good deal. Get the comments in via social media. It's at Real Brad Staggs, at Doc Thompson Show on Twitter and Facebook. Make sure to follow MoJo 50 Radio as well, and get them in via MeWe. Sign up for that account.
Rockin' Robin, we all know Doc Thompson is like that dog in the yard, always talking about the latest hotness. But if he ever caught one, he'd have no clue what to do with it. It's the dog catching the car.
What would I be wanting? What am I trying to catch in this scenario?
The hotness, the babes.
Oh, the hot babes?
The hot babes.
I wouldn't know what to do now. No. That's all. I've been married so long, but
you'd sit there chewing on their bumper.
I used to know.
You did.
Just waxing nostalgic and waxing it.
Easier now.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump is talking tax cuts again. Once the dust settles from the midterm elections, the president says he'd like to see Congress approve another round of tax relief for the middle class. As that huge caravan of marchers continues moving north through Mexico, President Trump is calling out Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador for failing to stop them. The president also has a bone to pick with Mexico.
They can do a lot better job. You look at the three countries in particular, and I don't know what's going on with Mexico. I guess it looks like the people are walking right through the middle of Mexico. So I'm not exactly thrilled there either.
Another big turnout at a Trump campaign rally, this one in Texas.
They were the bitterest of rivals during the 2016 presidential campaign.
This guy, Ted Cruz, is the single biggest liar I have ever dealt with in my life.
But ahead of the midterm elections in 2 weeks, President Donald Trump and Senator Ted Cruz of Texas are singing a different tune. At a campaign stop for Cruz in Houston Monday night, the president called it
a love fest.
Cruz told the adoring audience,
on every issue, on taxes,
I'm proud to have worked hand in hand with President Trump.
Trump used the occasion to announce a new middle-class tax cut that House GOP leaders have in the works for next year. Mike Gracia, Washington.
Addressing his country's parliament, Turkey's president accusing Saudi Arabia of plotting the murder of Saudi columnist Jamal Khashoggi days before his death. Khashoggi vanished after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul several weeks ago. Secretary of State Bolton expected to meet today with Russian President Putin. Bolton's visit to Russia comes after President Trump threatened to withdraw from a 1987 nuclear arms pact, accusing Moscow of violating terms of that agreement. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures down 301 points, NASDAQ futures off 105. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think like you do?
Like me, like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is WeThePeople.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way, as for, from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place, WeThePeople.dating.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
This is David Barton with another moment from America's history. William Patterson was a founding father who signed the Constitution and was then placed on the Supreme Court by President George Washington. In fact, Patterson had the honor of still serving on the court 2 decades after he had helped write the Constitution. And over that time, American government had become the envy of the world. Yet Patterson knew that it was not just the Constitution which secured the quality of our government. Therefore, in his frequent addresses to juries and legal groups, Patterson cited Proverbs 29:2 as setting forth the principal guarantee for good government. That verse declares, "When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan." Very simply, it's the quality of our leaders and not just the quality of our Constitution which secures to us good government. Remember this in the upcoming elections and vote accordingly.
For more information on God's hand in American history, contact Wall Builders at 1-800-8-REBUILD.
The mothership has landed.
Pretty interesting. I wouldn't normally have started with this, but this concern, wouldn't have had this concern, but after it was spelled out to me, I could see some problems. AT&T is planning to merge with Time Warner.
Wow. It's going to be a big old company.
Right. And you go, okay, these things happen. It's business, mergers, acquisitions, breaking companies up. That's fine. I have no problem with that. So I wouldn't lead with, oh my gosh, that's going to be bad for me. It is what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
If it is bad for me, I may say, is my bill going to go up if I did business with one of these companies?
Right.
But there is some concern, a lot of concern online from conservative groups saying, what does that mean to them? Think about what AT&T controls.
Right.
First of all, it is a horrible company. I cannot say enough bad things about AT&T.
But do you find them offensive?
I find them, yeah. I mean, you want to merge with Time Warner or whatever, that's fine or whatever. Business is business. But AT&T is a horrible company. Terrible. One of the absolute worst companies I've ever done business with.
And now they're going
and I've owned Chevys before.
And now they're going to be in the content creation business.
Exactly. And there's the problem. So you've got AT&T that owns all of the cell phones and all of this, and now they're going to start if they merge with Time Warner, content creation, and Time Warner also owns CNN and all of those other left-leaning channels. So you've got a terrible company in AT&T that is already left-leaning, terrible company in Time Warner, what with being left-leaning, not transparent about it, and manipulative, and they become even bigger and more powerful with their merger.
Yep.
This also includes DirecTV.
They're everywhere.
Think about that.
They'll be surrounding us.
Rick Manning, president of Americans for Limited Government, said, I think it's pretty dangerous given that we're looking at CNN being a part of this merger. Consolidating CNN with DirecTV, which is a 26 million households combined with their other outlets that exist in the context of that merger. We're creating a pretty massive corporate profit motive for pushing eyeballs to CNN, and was on to say that, mention their bias. So fine, combine it to try to get as many viewers as you can and make money. I fully support that. Of course I do. I'm a capitalist. My concern is the lack of transparency and the bias. If they only led with their bias and said, hey, that's right, we are leftists and the stuff we say can't be trusted.
Right.
Fine. That's not what it is. It's hidden and a lie. These companies have already existed on their own pushing this. The difference is when they are the same company, they will essentially collude. It'll be legal collusion because they're in it for their own interests and they bought them, and that's fine.
They're colluding with themselves.
Right. Imagine if you heard a story today that said they were not going to merge. Instead, they were all just colluding to share a pathway forward in how they present content and such.
You saying words matter?
Right. Exactly, Brad. We would everybody, even if they wouldn't admit it, would realize, okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But when it's your company, of course, you're going to head in the same direction. So all this is leftist media outlets working together, not just in, hey, we're all kind of heading there. We don't have to talk to each other. Specifically manipulating everything you come in contact with, if it's owned by Time Warner, everybody you do business with, if it's touched by AT&T. And by being that big, that large, what also happens? They will touch everything.
Yes. Yes, they will.
It'll be more difficult to avoid them. I bring this up, first of all, because you need to be aware of it. And number two, make sure to sign up for that Patriot Mobile account. We have given you a couple of different ways that you can help battle this stuff. And we've got some pretty significant things coming in the future. I think you recognize us as people that are trustworthy as anybody that can be when it comes to standing up for right versus wrong and conservative, libertarian, constitutional principles. And we are doing our best to come up with it. We build this platform. We have gargantuan social media platform coming in the future with MeWe. They're already there, so sign up the account, but we're working together on a couple of really big things. So sign up for your MeWe account. And sign up for Patriot Mobile today. Stop giving AT&T and all of these other companies your money. They're using it to funnel crap like this. They're using it to fund CNN and the propaganda, not just the campaigns. These companies give money to the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes out there, to the Bernie Sanders, to the Hillary Clintons, to the Bill Clintons, to the Clinton Foundation, to Mayor Bloomberg's anti-gun policies, and what is that, Anytown?
Yeah.
All of them. They're using your money against you. So stop giving it to them. Sign up for a Patriot Mobile account today. That's all you have to do. It takes just a couple of minutes. You will have amazing coverage, and you're likely going to save money. PatriotMobile.com/doc. Sign up today. Please help us all by signing up with Patriot Mobile. 800-A-PATRIOT if you want to do it while you're heading to work today. 800-A-PATRIOT. 1-800, the letter A and Patriot for Patriot Mobile, or PatriotMobile.com/doc. These stories are going to continue like this. The stories about Facebook and everybody else working against you will continue until we, again, hit that critical mass, whatever that's going to be.
Whatever that looks like.
Please sign up for an account today, PatriotMobile.com/doc. That's the only way we stand together against these people.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
Profundity this morning brought to you by PatriotMobile.com. It's one small way you can keep the progressive agenda from progressing, and you'll save money at the same time. This just in, Nancy Pelosi will not be running for president in 2020. That right there is enough good news. We can just shut the whole thing down right now and go home.
Does it, I'm trying to, you got to be 35, natural citizen, and a certain resident. You're right, it doesn't say anything about being alive.
Nope.
So it can't be that that's keeping her from running.
She's apparently she just we don't know why she doesn't want to run, but she's not going to run. At least that's what she says today.
Huh.
So we'll see.
She did kind of miss her window of opportunity as far as being in her prime.
About 150 years ago.
Right. Had she challenged, Andrew Johnson, I mean, she
Right.
may have had a shot at this thing, right?
Yeah, but she missed. You're right. That window of opportunity comes and goes very quickly. She just wasn't quite fast enough.
It's all about timing.
It really is. Speaking of timing, an explosive device was found yesterday at the Westchester, New York home of billionaire George Soros. That was kind of weird.
Found at his home?
At his home.
Was it George's?
It was apparently not his.
George is like, I told you've got to send this to the border with the migrants.
They must have messed up and left it at the house. An employee that works at the home found the package and opened it, revealing what appeared to be an explosive device. Reportedly did not look like a suitcase with a clock in it. According to a press release from the Bedford Police Department, an employee then placed the package in a wooded area until authorities arrived. Did this employee not think about the squirrels and the other woodland creatures in the forest area that could have been injured?
They don't care. It just shows how insensitive they are.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe that.
George is fine.
George is good. He was not home at the time. Very strange, if you ask me.
Okay, yeah.
Who would? I think it's the Koch brothers.
The Koch brothers?
Them too.
Yeah. No, I'd say
who would have the cojones to send George Soros?
Theoretically, not necessarily, but theoretically, somebody on the right. But if they are now targeting George like that, I mean, listen, this guy can afford security like few other people, but they're not going to stop.
No,
keep messing George and other people. The people will eventually rise up. History has proven that. It may take centuries. It may take the loss of millions and millions of lives, but eventually, the people will see that little sliver of light through the crack. They will see that, and they will seize the day.
Carpe diem. I saw that.
I'm sorry, what?
I saw that. Carpe diem. They will seize the day. That's French for seize the day, isn't it? Carpe diem.
I don't know. I don't speak
Something
French.
about a fish. Yale Law School students will be walking all over Dr. Christine Ford's words now.
Oh, no. Are they putting in the sidewalk or something?
Well, sort of. I mean, it wasn't exactly official, but they have, I guess you would refer to them as vandals, have actually graffitied Christine Ballsy Ford's words on the steps of Yale Law School, the entrance there to the...
What words?
The words are, indelible in the hippocampus is the laughter. ... Those were the...
Okay, wait a minute. Are these vandals on the right that are mocking her?
Because
that makes a lot more sense than people on the left going, that's right. We've always got to remember these immortal hippocampus laughter.
Yeah, right there on the front steps. Do you know how hard that's going to be to get off?
Thank you.
Yes.
Indelible in the hippocampus is the laughter. ...
I don't. Yeah, it's so they'll be walking over that at least until they can get the paint remover out there and get those off of the front steps. This just in: Bill Daley, best known as for his role as Major Healy on
Major Healy.
He's dead. He died. He died.
He died like a year ago?
No, he died in September, but it escaped me, and I thought it bore mentioning. It was only a month ago. I feel bad. Bill Daley was funny. He was on Newhart.
He was hilarious. Bill Daley was awesome. I'm just like, wow, how?
It's a month ago. Did you know he died?
I did. That's the reason I said it was
a
like
month ago.
I thought it was a year ago. But
no,
okay.
It was only a month ago. He was 91. Died in Albuquerque.
Okay, how perfect for him to, because he was kind of, he was really funny, but kind of the B or supporting role that you don't even acknowledge him until like 2 months later. Okay.
Didn't even know it happened.
And that song, Won't You Come Home, Bill Daley. I just...
It's Bill Bailey. Bill Bailey.
Is that the same guy?
No, not totally different. Since it's Tuesday and we're trying to get, another work week underway, you think you have a sucky job, think about the workers in Charleston, South Carolina.
Now.
Better now?
Yeah. What workers?
Divers spent 2 days deep inside a South Carolina sewer pulling out huge balls of oily black used wet wipes and baby wipes that have clogged intake pumps. Yes.
Wow, that's
when you see the pictures of the big clump of goo that they pulled out of the pumps, and we will tweet out a link to this. Those are all those wet
How
wipes.
big's that clump? I can't see scale.
It's about a cubic yard, maybe about 3 feet by 3 feet or so.
I gotta believe that's aromatic.
Yeah,
that's gonna have a fragrance, a scent to it. Smell. Let's say smell.
Well, the divers fortunately could not smell in their suits or see in the darkness.
What are they, hard of smelling?
It's they wear the big wetsuit there, and they couldn't see because it was so black down there, because. But as soon as they came back up, they had to get
wait a minute. So they're
baths.
diving into the
Yes. Like I said, when you think you have a rough job, you just think about those guys diving
down. Are they
down.
completely sealed? Is that it's not like a regular dive?
Except there's an opening right around their mouth, so some can leak into the. Yeah, of course they're completely sealed.
No, that's what I'm saying. How do you seal that? Is it
What's
like a diving?
Yeah, I would guess that.
Is it like a belt, like a diving suit, not like a wetsuit? You know, the old ones, like from the
like the
50s one where they have the tube going up.
Big, yeah, they're kind of clunky though. I don't think they could move their arms around as much. But
if it's not,
they had to.
Ow!
They had,
and it's dark.
They dove nearly 100 feet into the sewer. This is nasty.
Oh my golly!
Into the sewer well after the wipes, the congealed grease and the other items. See, what happens is the pumps aren't designed to handle this stuff. They recommend you only use toilet paper and not use those wet wipes that you flush. It
says
down the toilet.
flushable.
Yeah, well, they would beg to differ in this case.
What happens is they have grinders, not the website that's fabulous.
Right.
They have grinders that grind up any of the solid material. The problem is those wipes do not fully grind.
No, they don't. They just kind of wrap around the gears.
They do. And even in case where it shreds and thins a little bit, it still ends up very fibrous, and that just has stuff stick to it.
You have to chew on them a little bit more just with those incisor teeth just to get them ground up.
I got a job for you. Are you ready? You're looking for work, right?
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I want. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to get in a wetsuit, and you're going to dive 100 feet
Whoa, that's
down into the raw sewage.
Oh, wait, no.
You're going to do that and try to scrape out all of the congealed grease and wet wipes. You're going to hair and...
Even knowing that you can't smell it or see it, just feeling
Maybe we just
that.
move on.
I think it's a good idea. You were talking about all that money that we send to China. Guess what they did with it?
They didn't order takeout.
No,
that's already at home.
Right.
You don't order Chinese takeout. You just keep in
stuff at food here.
Fortune, no, we probably have those. I don't know. You got
They
me.
built the longest sea crossing bridge in the world.
They've built a lot of those.
They built this one.
Tunnels how big's this one?
This one, this connects Hong Kong and Macau to the mainland Chinese city of Zhuhai.
That's got to be like 34 miles.
It is 34 miles. Actually, it's 55 kilometers.
Is it really 34 miles?
It is 34 miles.
You are kidding me.
No, you just guessed that.
I did not see this story. I literally just pulled that out because I figured, I was like, how long would that be? And I figured you'd go, well, it's 42. And I would be like close to it.
No,
and people would be going, wow,
that's... What you did was you took the answer to every question, which is 17, and doubled it, which is 34.
Right, but still, I can't. And then I would have looked like a super genius had I not just been so shocked to my... Edit all of that out, Ron.
Yep, just edit that out. And he'll
Put that out in post-production. I don't want to.
It's in his contract.
So that's got to be what, like 34 miles?
It's exactly 34
miles. Is that like 50
miles.
some 55 kilometers?
How did you know?
Yeah,
that is amazing, Doc Thompson. It was originally designed or due to open in 2016, but repeated delays caused it to open later than its anticipated date of 2016.
Well, governments are same around the globe. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it's part of it. Actually, this is kind of fascinating. It cut the commute time from 3 hours to 32 minutes. That's pretty amazing between the two cities.
That's worth building.
And it's part of their plan, the Chinese plan for Greater Bay Area coverage.
Okay, if I live there, my suggestion then is let's up the speed limits on the bridge.
Yep.
And hopefully they've already begun building the second bridge.
Yeah,
you need a backup.
You do need a backup in case this one goes down.
If that thing goes down and I'm 3 hours, no, build that. Let's get it going.
You don't want to be on that thing in a hurricane. 34 miles. Can you imagine being 17 miles halfway across in a hurricane? Woo.
I mean, do they have like little restaurants and stuff along the way?
No, it's much like the Caravan. There's nowhere to stop. It's just
Just pee off the side?
Yep, you can. You can stop and pee off the side if you want to.
Gas or something?
Yeah. Well, no, there wouldn't be any gas on a bridge. Just a
Can't
bridge.
you put gas out there?
So,
a little gas station or
you
something.
should probably gas it
so they
before
can
you
build
hit
a
the bridge.
34-mile-long bridge, but they can't build a gas station on it?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like they're very smart after all, does it?
Exactly. Well, they have to have
What do you
something
do if you
for
get stopped?
The backup bridge.
What happens if you run out of gas?
You cause a big world of hurt.
That's what I'm saying. So that sounds horrible. Hey, I had to remind you about WeThePeople.dating. If you signed up for an account, why not? Your spouse will understand.
You could meet
Maybe
Matt
that's not
Locke's
the way to
beautiful
sell
wife.
it.
She's still looking.
She's out there. She's looking for the upgrade. WeThePeople.dating. We've weeded out all the crazy progressives. There may be other crazies or whatever. You never know. There's always a few. But we've weeded out all of those people. So it's going to be much more palatable right off. You're going to automatically know when you go to WeThePeople.dating and sign up for an account that all of the progressives have been weeded out unless they're lying in wait.
Ooh, that sounds
intriguing. But as far as we can tell, it's going to be like-minded people, liberty-minded people.
Yes.
It's all out there. Millions and millions of people have signed up, and this is the database that we've collected from. Millions and millions to say, hey, let's find the right people. WeThePeople.dating. Sign up for an account today. Continuing your headlines now, Brad Stagg.
And remember, there's nothing wrong with dating the crazy. Just don't marry them. In Seattle, giant steel balls have stunned motorists. Remember the old joke, who's got the kid that rolls the steel balls down the aisle in school, and the teacher says, who's got steel balls? Superman. Can I go home now?
That's it, yeah.
Well, it's not quite as funny when the steel balls are rolling down the street in Seattle. They had to temporarily...
How big?
About an inch in diameter. They had to, the authorities, that is, close a street after motorists were stunned by dozens of these...
Like ball bearings?
Large metal balls that spilled out of a truck and cascaded down the street, damaging several cars. Person at the scene took a video on Wednesday. This is last week. Wednesday afternoon, the balls bouncing loudly and rolling down the street as the driver slowly backs up, apparently attempting to escape the onslaught of steel balls. Really big ball bearings is how they were constantly described.
An inch?
Yeah.
I guess that is pretty large for ball bearings.
Yes, that would be...
So, and Seattle's fairly hilly, too. Is this on a hill, do we know?
Well, if they were rolling down...
I mean, it could be a slight incline, which would be bad. But if it's hilly and you drop those things are going to bounce and hit.
That's pretty much what they did.
Oh, my gosh.
Several cars damaged. No injuries were reported, but be a great story for
What an amazing practical joke if it wasn't so mean and vandalous.
Exactly.
Is it vandalous a word?
Vandal.
I think you're saying vandalus.
That would be Italian.
Very
You've
vandalus.
got the Italian translation of the word. And we finally have the story of what happened with Fleetwood Mac and Lindsey Buckingham.
Well, thank God, because I know lots of people have been, what has happened with...
said you couldn't sleep last night, and this has been part of it. Now you will know and you'll be able to sleep. Lindsey Buckingham has sued Fleetwood Mac. Back in January, he was told by his manager the rest of the band would be out touring without him. And he says none of his bandmates would return his calls to explain why. Now, the other side of that story, when it broke that they were going to be touring, the rest of the band said, yeah, Lindsey didn't want to go out on tour with us. Well, it turns out they didn't want Lindsey out on tour with them. He was with the band from 75 to 87 before leaving of his own volition to pursue a solo career.
I can't believe this is the story.
Yes, they just did not want him traveling, apparently, with the band.
Wow, so they'll just go their own way?
They will go their own way. You see, I see what you did there.
What do you mean?
Have you ever seen them
no.
perform? They're very good. Although they can't quite hit the high notes now, so they do. They've hired backup singers who can hit the high notes for them, which, someday when you are unable to perform your duties here as a radio host, you'll have to hire a backup host to
hit those high notes.
To hit the high notes to really keep people. This story reminded me of you, a school band bag. So one boy pulled a Doc Thompson. See why it reminded me of you? Because your name was in the headline.
He dropped out?
No, the school that banned bags for health and safety reasons.
He wore a skirt?
Led some pupils to get creative with how they carried their books. Jacob Ford disagreed with the policy at Spalding Grammar School and decided he was going to carry his books in a microwave oven.
What does that have to? I don't.
Well, you wore you were protesting the fact that.
So they were not allowed to have book bags.
They could not have book bags because
but they didn't specifically say no to microwave ovens.
Not say no to microwave ovens. So this kid's...
Okay, I applaud him for being such a jerk. I really do, but
that's exactly what you would do.
I would.
You'd bring them inside a live alligator or something.
Right, exactly. But something not so heavy and bulky. There was nothing else.
Well, what if they've banned books or if they've banned bags and
See, here's what I would have said.
Okay.
Here's what I said. You've banned bags and backpacks. Yeah. I would have just carried one in and said, no, I'm sorry, this is a knapsack. That's what I would have claimed. I would have just used.
That wouldn't have made.
And then when they say no, and I'd say, oh, I'm sorry, it's a satchel.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just gone down the whole thing, which, by the way, should give me an A in English class for, having all of the other words that mean whatever that thing is. Anyway, right? So you get that. And then you go to something else, but microwave is heavy.
Well,
although you have your own microwave.
Yes. You can charge people to heat their things.
You're right. And then I also would be able to heat things.
Yes.
Interesting.
See?
Okay, I might be with this kid. Okay.
He ended up being suspended for 2 days after he refused to hand over.
He gets 2 days. Okay, I'll give him this too. The bizarreness of the microwave being carried is pretty funny too.
Well, and here's the school said that the injuries were being caused to younger students because of the ever larger bags being carried on their shoulders. That was one of the reasons. That was the health concern about carrying bags in school.
You're like, hey, Steve, you've got a microwave. Is that some sort of school experiment for science class or something?
There were some that brought their books in wicker baskets as well.
See, wicker, lighter than metal.
But it doesn't. A wicker basket does not bring the same oomph, the same gravitas.
It's not going to get you on that YouTube video, right?
As a microwave. Exactly. And in this day and age, when you really need to stand out and make your mark in school or on the job, you've got to do things that are like this so that you are not one of the
You see all the kids going over and they're plugging in to charge their cell phones and bing, popcorn's ready. All set. Good to go. Ready?
He became very popular.
Awesome.
Those are your headlines brought to you by Patriot Mobile. One small way you can help the progressive agenda from progressing.
Sign up today, patriotmobile.com/doc. It's patriotmobile.com/doc. Stand by. More of your Daily Mojo coming up on this Mojo 50. Pretty close to right.
Mojo for every state. Mojo 50.
Before the dust is even settled on the contentious Kavanaugh confirmation hearings, an anonymous gay man has stepped forward to accuse Senator Cory Booker of sexually assaulting him in 2014. Senator Booker must immediately resign. Here's why. According to Democrats, an alleged survivor must be believed even if no evidence exists to support their claim. The man who came forward to allege Booker's assault says that Booker pulled him into a restroom and sexually assaulted him. The accuser also claims to have cooperating evidence of the event. He further states that he reached out to those in the Me Too movement for support, but they weren't really interested in hearing about his sexual assault. If we follow the same unconstitutional rules put forth during Kavanaugh's hearings by Democrats and Me Too movement activists like actress Alyssa Milano, Booker is presumed guilty of sexual assault until he proves that he is innocent. So what's next? A public congressional hearing should be convened, allowing the accuser and the accused to each give their side of the story, with particular emphasis on the demeanor of Booker to judge whether he still has the temperament to be a senator should he be able to prove his innocence. Senator Mazie Hirono must tell the men in her party to shut up and stand up for the rights of this anonymous accuser. We should expect nothing less. And finally, the FBI should be enlisted to do a thorough investigation, which means more than one investigation because Democrats felt that 7 FBI investigations were inadequate to prove Kavanaugh was not guilty. I'm sure that Democrats ascribing to their own rules will join me in declaring that there is no other recourse available to Booker. He must tender his resignation immediately. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need. NeverForgottenApparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T. and get 15% off your purchase.
We are just 2 weeks out from the midterm elections, just 2 weeks from today. And this is the single most important election in my lifetime. It is the most important election of my lifetime. Until the next most important one of my lifetime. This one. Until 2020. And then that will be the most important election of our lifetime.
Yes.
Until 2022.
Yeah.
And then that one
will
is
be the
gonna
most important until
that is going to be a 2022.
And then
you think that that's going to be the most important of our lifetime
until 2024.
Oh, that one.
Gonna be huge.
That one. That's the one that's going to be the most.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, 2028. That's looking like.
Ooh, that's a good point.
See, the point I'm trying to make is I'm tired of people saying that.
Because so far, every election in my life has been the most important election in my life, according to everybody else.
Constantly.
Yeah, they do.
I'm tired of it. Is this election important? Yeah, it really is. It absolutely is important. And I'm sure some people would argue, well, if they take the House, then they're going to impeach Trump and so on and so forth, and it'll stop. Yes, I know. But guess what? Voting for president is always pretty important.
Yes.
Probably more important than the midterms in general, but you may argue this midterm is more important because of the Republicans versus Democrats and the impeachment of Trump. Sure. But you know what was a pretty important election? Everyone during the Cold War.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Pretty important. How about this? Gargantuan inflation, gas shortages, the economy in the tank, interest rates over 20% in many cases. The 1980 election, pretty powerful. And in hindsight, how'd that work out? Pretty well.
Yeah.
Carter versus Reagan. Carter, you're out. Reagan, you're in. Limiting that nutcase Jimmy Carter to only 4 years. Do you remember the Iran hostage situation?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty important election.
Yes.
That was pretty powerful.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Reagan's re-election. How about that?
That was important, too.
You can also look backwards at bad elections like 2008. That ended up being a pretty powerful election. Pretty important.
Or the
I mean, seriously.
Or the hanging chads of 2000. That was a biggie also.
That was the most important election of my life.
Yes.
Except for all the other most important ones of our life.
Yes.
Stop it. This is more of the manipulation to get you out to vote. If you're not wise enough at this point, somebody listening to this broadcast, to this platform, somebody that pays attention to the news and know you have to go out and vote, saying it's the most important of your life is not going to change anything.
No.
Although we do have some updates on 2 weeks from today, some predictions, some updates on how things are going. Dennis Hoff, we've got an update.
Dennis Hoff.
Still looking good for him to be elected.
Dennis Hoff isn't
to the Nevada State Legislature.
Isn't he dead?
He is dead. He's the brothel owner.
Yes, he died.
Yeah, it's still looking good for him to be reelected or elected, though.
Okay, that'll be interesting.
He is a brothel owner from Nevada running for the state house and died.
Yeah.
It was too late for them to change and put anybody else in the ballot, so he's going to be there, and they're still predicting a solid victory for him. How bad is the other guy?
Wow.
How bad is he? You're like, wait a minute. I can vote for this guy, or I can vote for the dead brothel owner? Yeah, I'm voting for the dead brothel owner.
And in Nevada, they've got the attitude that they would vote for the dead guy just to prove a point.
Okay, Hillary Clinton or dead whorehouse owner? Go. Dead whorehouse owner,
Easy.
right?
Yeah, every time.
Nancy Pelosi, your dead whorehouse owner. There you go. I mean, pimp is really what you're talking about. Dead pimp. But he's a white guy, and it's in Nevada, so it's a brothel owner, right?
Yeah.
But he's still a pimp, though, right?
Technically, yes. Technically. He's still a pimp.
What makes a pimp versus brothel owner versus manager? I was going to say race. White guys can't be pimps, but I've seen...
Oh, yeah. Yes, they can.
White guys can be pimps.
Yes, they can.
It's a different culture, though, right? That's what it is?
Yeah, I think it's the bling.
So it's more of the inner city urban type. and you don't necessarily have an established storefront.
Correct.
Is that it?
Yes, correct.
That makes you a pimp. Although you could be more of a manager or a booking agent if it's high class.
You know that, and I was going to say it all depends on the class of the clientele. You know, the higher class, I think you're a booking agent.
You're a booking agent, a madam. So it's got to be a little of the culture, the way you act, probably the way you treat the whores.
Yes.
Whether or not they're called whores probably had to do with it. Again, if you're a call girl, you probably don't have a pimp. I think pimp goes a little bit with.
You're considered independent if you don't have if you don't have a pimp. And you know, when it comes down to it, don't we all have pimps? I mean,
absolutely.
come on.
And by the way, I'm willing to be pimped out. How much money?
Yes.
Just tell me what I have to say, what I have to do. How long is this done?
You eventually reach the age where you realize it's just easier than fighting.
Barack Obama or dead pimp?
Dead pimp.
Dead pimp gets that vote every time. It's not even close.
No, it really isn't.
It's not even.
You're right.
Like, there, Barack Obama or just check the other box. Check the other one.
The other box. Take the other box.
Which gets confusing.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it was too late to change the printed ballot, so they're still running Dennis Hoff. They're going to put a sign at the polls
to remind people that he's dead.
Yeah, which
just
I don't
in
know.
case. For those of you here to vote for Dennis Hoff, just a reminder, he's still dead. Just so you know, just so you know. That's all.
Imagine the other guy who's out there, because you can't be within a certain space of the building. It's called electioneering.
Yeah.
You got at the edge where there are the signs, and it's the last ditch pitch. He's like, "Hey, how you doing? Doc Thompson, I'm running for the legislature. Who you running against?"
Running against the
dead pimp.
Dead pimp.
Dead pimp.
You know, it makes you wonder. They'll go out and get John Ashcroft to comment on this. He did. I knew there was somebody else that he lost to the dead guy in 2000.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he lost to Mel Carnahan, who died 3 weeks before the election.
Seriously, folks, vote for me. The other guy is dead. What? He's dead. I'm serious. Listen, going into the polls, the other guy is dead. You're voting for a dead guy if you vote for Mel or Dennis.
I mean, that's got to ding your self-esteem.
Right.
If you lose to the dead guy.
They're like, oh, dead. I don't believe him. You know, they lie. Politicians lie. Don't give me that. Seriously, he died. Here's the articles online. Here's the death certificate. He's absolutely dead.
He is
right here.
dead.
Here's a picture of him being cremated. Here's a picture of the ashes afterwards.
He's dead. Dead. And now, well, there is life. I was going to say there's life after losing to a dead guy. Ashcroft went on to be a consultant.
Oh, he's making more money. Yeah, that's it. Remember, those who can't do, consult.
Right. Yeah.
So Dennis Hoff, by the way, is a Republican. And again,
capitalist.
I got to give it to you.
He was a capitalist.
I told you I'm not voting for Democrats now.
Ever?
Because no, unless something dramatically changes. Not that you couldn't have one that stands up to the party and does the right things. You could, but I can't take any chances they're not going to side with them.
Yeah, but the problem is now you can't be assured that a Republican's not going to switch sides.
That is true.
A drop of a hat.
That is true. But I know the Democrats are going to. I can't give them any more numbers.
Boy, that's
sorry.
Over that. I think that's. I don't know. I would think that the voting the individual is the wise thing to do.
Yeah, I used to do that. Not now.
I'm
not voting for the Republican Party. I'm just voting against Democrats.
To stick to my ideals, my
it's
principles.
Two things. It's vote for track record and values, people that can show me and prove that they've done certain things a certain way and, get in a very high, doesn't have to be 100% marked, but you got to be in the 90 percentile.
Right.
And no to Democrats.
Just say no.
Right, exactly. I can't take the chance. I'm sorry.
Nancy Reagan's message, just say no.
Screw me once, shame on you. Screw me 435 million times over the last 30 years. Shame on me.
If it was a bad experience. Otherwise,
yes, that's true.
Pay each time.
And Beto O'Rourke just got a huge endorsement from a former president. Beto O'Rourke is on the map. He just got an endorsement from Vicente Fox of Mexico. I'm not kidding. Vicente Fox, not an American citizen, a citizen of Mexico, a former president of Mexico, just endorsed Beto O'Rourke.
Well, good for Beto. Oh, Beto.
Meanwhile, Obama hasn't even endorsed him.
No. I think, didn't Beto turn down Obama's endorsement? Didn't he?
No,
I thought he said he did not want it.
That's after Obama didn't give it to him. So here's how this plays out. Obama put out a list of, I can't remember how many, it was 50, a couple of hundred races around the country of people he supported. Maybe it wasn't a couple hundred, but it was a lot.
Right.
And it was like, hey, Bradley J. Staggs in Michigan's 18th congressional district. And Doc Thompson running for mayor of Walla Walla, Washington.
Yep.
And he puts all these out there. Doesn't mention Beto O'Rourke. A huge race. Texas is on the front line. It's a state that is trying to be flipped to blue. It's very purpled up at this point. Ted Cruz is not beloved by a lot of people.
Right.
They had all of those challenges, and Obama still, and ideologically, they're the same person. And Beto is the vanilla Obama. It's Obama now in vanilla. In fact, that meme was up in MoJo's Facebook page for a few days. So he wouldn't endorse him.
Right.
Beto comes out when Obama's not on the list and says, I didn't want his endorsement anyway. Wait, what? Beto O'Rourke does not want Barack Obama's endorsement.
Well,
really? Really?
It says that the lack of endorsement came the same week that O'Rourke issued an apology for a review he wrote in '91 while he was a student at Columbia. According to Politico, O'Rourke wrote about the actresses in the play, quote, whose only qualifications seem to be their phenomenally large breasts and tight buttocks, end quote.
You know, I've missed that quote. That stock just moved up a little bit for me. His stock has risen.
That may or may not have had anything to do with the lack of the Obama.
Let me help you. Let me help you with the real answer is why Obama did not endorse him. Beto is going to lose. Beto, me, and you will lose that Beto is going to lose. I'm telling you right now, he will lose, and he is going to lose badly. He is going to get his ass handed to him on a plate. He's not going to lose by just a handful of votes. It's not going to be a thin recount claim. We're not going to know for a week. We will know immediately. You will know within an hour or two of the polls closing. It's not going to be into the wee hours of the morning. Beto O'Rourke, did the guy win? The wee hours, Mr. O'Rourke. No. It's not going to be a trip to Fantasy Island. No. That was just Rourke. It wasn't O'Rourke.
That was different.
The Irish Fantasy Island.
He's dead too.
You are going to know he is going to lose soundly. And Obama knows that. Everybody knows that. The reason they keep saying, oh, O'Rourke's got a chance and he's raised so much money is if they have any hope, if they are to have any hope that Ted Cruz would lose, they need to make people believe there is hope. If you think there is no hope, well, I'm not going to go out and vote. There's really no reason to. It's just a wasted effort.
Right.
But wait, you mean there is? So they have had this campaign for months that Beto has a shot at this thing. You know what I keep seeing? Look at all those Beto signs.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Yeah.
It's all I see is Beto signs, people keep saying. What?
That's true.
Seriously? Come on, man. He is going to lose, and he's going to lose badly. Obama knows that. Beto, I think, knows that.
You think he's just prepping for
what's that?
Possibly the 2020?
There it is, folks. Beto O'Rourke knows he is likely not going to be a senator. He's not going to be Ted Cruz.
Right.
Beto O'Rourke is trying to raise his profile for political aspirations down the road. If he gets elected to the Senate, he will beat Obama's record in launching his presidential campaign. Obama got elected to Senate under bizarre circumstances.
Right.
Can't remember. Anyways, the guy who was running, and they found pictures. There was questionable divorce situations. He was cheating on his wife, and that got him booted off the ticket. And so Obama swoops in. And in less than 150 days, 143 days, launches his presidential bid. Okay, O'Rourke will do it on day one. You won, hooray! Now, when he doesn't win, and he will not, He will simply plan, and it's probably already being planned, his next move. Beto will challenge Cornyn next time around, or he will run for governor, or he will run for president. It would be a long shot to say that he would run for president having only served in the House of Representatives. But Donald Trump changed the rules a little bit.
And as did Barack Obama.
As did Barack Obama, exactly. Beto O'Rourke knows he's not going to get elected. This is about raising his profile. And if you are to ever win a Senate seat, usually you lose a time or two before you win it. I've talked to senators who goes, yeah, almost everybody loses the first time or two they run for the Senate. You've got to raise your profile across the entire state. Whereas a district, you're just, get knowledge in that state. That's the reason it's so much easier for a governor to run for Senate and a senator run for governor. They already have statewide name recognition.
Yeah.
So Beto O'Rourke has raised his name recognition all across the state of Texas and all across the country. The amazing thing is that the Democrats would back this white guy. He's the next John F. Kennedy. Look at him. So empowered. A reporter from ABC was interviewing him as he's walking through some building with a rally or whatever, a restaurant, and everybody's going, Beto, hey, how you doing? And he's high-fiving him. They're like, woo! And she's like, oh, my gosh, you're like a rock star. That was a reporter.
He does look like a Kennedy, actually.
The amazing thing is that they would back this white guy, but that's also the reason they started calling him Beto.
Because he's a white guy. They don't want him to be seen as a white guy.
Right. They can't run the old white guy. They need something else.
He says, that's a nickname from childhood, and
now
it's whether.
Here's what will likely happen when Beto O'Rourke loses, and he will by multiple points. I would not be. Listen, if it ends up double digits, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know it'd be that much. It's just, remember, Ted Cruz not likable. Nobody's out there going, love that Ted Cruz, or most people are not that are going to vote for him. And secretly, more people are conservative than they let on, and more people support the president that they let on. You don't lead with this in today's world. You don't post things that much, I love the president, because you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose clients. It's how it works.
You don't put yard signs in your yard because they'll be caught on fire.
Exactly.
Egg your house. They'll do all sorts of things.
So he will lose by multiple points. Then what will happen? Likely, he'll launch some other campaigns, but he will likely launch a presidential bid. And he will be on the ticket eventually as the vice presidential nominee next to a Joe Biden as president.
No, why would they? Why not? Why wouldn't he be the presidential candidate? Why would he?
Well, he could be. But remember, the party plays the games, and they reward people. Both parties do. I mean, he could be. It may happen for him. If they see the needle moving and people getting behind him and polls show that he can beat Trump in 2020 and all this, yeah, they'll get behind him, sure. I think that is unlikely. I think he's got too many deficits to really be a challenge.
Kamala Harris.
And there you go.
For president, him as VP. Okay.
That way, they get the white guy, the black lady, and the white guy who pretends to be Hispanic. Tell me that's not a pretty powerful ticket.
That's a good one.
Cory Booker is a goof. Cory Booker is done. It'll never happen. Seriously. Cory Booker is a joke. He will run. He will be out in the first round. They'll be, you know how when they start campaigning, those first two people, they're like out in like weeks.
Suspended their campaign.
Right. Cory Booker is suspending his campaign until such a time. He'll be the Kramer during the contest. That's it. I'm out. I'm out of the contest. I'm out.
Didn't he just, he and Harris both have come up with a guaranteed income plan, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to talk about that, too. Yeah. They're just trying to bribe people. Kamala Harris could be in. We'll see if she has the chops to campaign and all that stuff. Joe Biden is in. Hillary is running again, folks. There is no question. Elizabeth Warren is clearly running as well. Their best shot at this point is Kamala Harris because you get a woman at the top of the ticket, and they can say, we've run woman and a woman of color. People so want that on the left because they want that, what do they call it? Intersectionality. Might be both.
Wow.
Intersectional sexuality.
She's a man and a woman?
Well, you've seen her, right?
I've never seen her naked.
You
never can tell these days. To assume would be
a little manly there.
Crazy. That's true.
Anyway, So they would love to see that. I could easily see a Beto O'Rourke thrown on the ticket with something like that because, again, then it's a farm team.
That would be, you know what? The elections going forward are going to be anything but dull. That's, I will give them that much.
Well, and the good news is they're not going to be dull because every election will be the most important of our life.
Important in our lifetime. Get out there, and as Taylor Swift reminds everyone, vote often and vote early.
So Beto O'Rourke got that coveted endorsement of Vicente Fox of Mexico.
Yes.
Vicente Fox said, Beto O'Rourke, what a candidate you are. He tweeted this out. You are not, you not only understand America, you know about humanity. So Vicente Fox is telling us which candidate knows America best.
I mean,
the non-American citizen.
The only thing you could hope for, Beto could hope for better than an endorsement from Vicente Fox would be David Hogg. You get David Hogg and Vicente Fox as endorsers, and you're a shoo-in at that point.
Wow, they look kind of alike. Wouldn't it be funny if we found out Hogg was his illegitimate child? Wouldn't that be awesome?
And not surprising.
No, not at all.
Because who is Castro's Trudeau?
Oh, yeah.
You start seeing those pictures, it's like, wow, that really is.
Oh, Justin Trudeau of Mexico. Clearly, I am absolutely convinced. I will bet big money that he is the son of Fidel Castro. It is bizarre. And
it really is.
His father had a bizarre relationship with the Castros. Vicente Fox went on to say, you not only understand America, you know about humanity. This is what the U.S. needs. Someone compassionate yet firm. So Vicente Fox is telling you, Americans, what America needs. He says it's Beto. He said, I stand with you, Beto, because I believe you're what America needs. Wow, really concerned. Thank God Vicente Fox is there showing so much compassion to tell us what America needs. It was a little arrogant of me, apparently, to look at Mexico and say, you know what Mexico needs?
Yeah.
To not be such a crap hole.
Right.
I really want to use the S word now. To not be such an S-hole. That's what, because you look at it and you go, wow, a lot of poverty, a lot of corruption, murder. I mean,
yeah.
But Vicente Fox is telling us what America needs.
And Mexico has a bad side, too. So
a little downside, too?
Yeah, a little downside to them. It's pretty amazing.
He said, you deserve it because you're going to respond to the hope and expectations of Texas. Hope and expectations. So there you go. Beto O'Rourke picked up that coveted Vicente Fox nomination or endorsement.
Jeff Jeffrey over on Twitter said it best. He said, just like Joe Biden's mom told him, if he wants to be vice president, he can. Beto's madre, padre, and abuela told him the same as they sat around the campfire.
Friend of mine said a couple days ago, and I'm not going to say who it is. Friend of mine a couple days ago at dinner said, Biden. Tell me that guy didn't sell his soul to the devil. And I go, what? He goes, his wife and kid is killed. There's 2 kids. That's how he got elected to Senate all those years ago. He was one of the youngest people ever elected to the Senate.
Right.
Very little experience, whatever. Like just before the campaign or whatever, he basically ran out of it, or people knew this, and he gets elected to the Senate. Over the dead vote? Oh, yeah. Look at this young guy, his wife and kids and whatever. And then his other kid gets cancer, and he's clearly used that to campaign. Remember, he has the cancer shot, right?
Yeah.
He's going to cure cancer and all that. He goes, tell me that guy didn't sell his soul. The devil's like, all right, listen. Because the devil smokes.
Yes, he does.
All right, listen, Joe. Here's what I got for you. I'm going to make you one of the most powerful men in the world. You'll be a senator forever, live in the lap of luxury. And you even be vice president.
Oh, that sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, your wife and kid, they're gonna die. I'm gonna take them.
So you're gonna take my
and,
wife and
the other
kid
kid's gonna get brain cancer. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be painful for him.
Hold on, what do I get out of it? I
get to be vice president.
Okay. Okay.
I do that. That sounds like a pretty good deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Sign here. No, that's gonna have to be in blood. Okay, cool.
Wow.
So I was like,
Wow.
You know what? I could see it playing out that way.
Yeah, that's absolutely possible.
Those good folks over at Campus Reform went to Texas A&M University and began asking the students there about Beto and saying, hey, what do you know about this guy? Well, you going to vote for him? What do you like about him? You know, what's he accomplished? Mm-hmm. They had some interesting thoughts.
If you had to make a decision right now, who do you think you would support?
Beto. I would probably vote for Beto.
Of what I know, definitely Beto. If the election were tomorrow, who do you think you'd be more likely to vote for?
Beto.
I would do Beto, especially because I'm like a woman. I think I would go.
Wait.
She's like a woman. She's like, I'd vote for Beto because I'm like a woman, and she's like a woman. She's not a woman. She doesn't have all the parts, but she does some things that women do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or as a friend of mine that happened to be black said to me one time, he had a girlfriend in high school who said, do you want me to do what the white girls do? Brad, do you want me to do what the girls do? Because I'm like a girl. I'm a man, but I'm... All right, back to
For the Democrat. From what I know in political science, I just feel like they push and they help for things
Democrats.
that would help people in my situation, like people in poverty and things like that.
Are there any accomplishments in his career that you can point to that would make him a good person for office?
I am not aware of a lot of specific accomplishments that he has made.
Are there any accomplishments of Beto's that you would point to?
I don't know any, so I can't say anything.
But I like him. Is there anything you can point to as things and be like, yeah, he has accomplished
I'm
this.
like a woman.
I think he's accomplished, like, honestly getting his name out there. If he's for not doing much, it sounds like he's really...
But it's just being popular.
You got to hand it to her. She's right. Tell me what's wrong with her statement. Nothing.
Has he gotten his name out there?
Yes.
Yes, every day on my phone.
Yes, exactly. He's blowing it up, right?
Yes.
Okay, he's gotten it out there. So there you go.
So he has accomplished something. So you're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance.
And he's got Willie Nelson's endorsement. Damn it.
So there it is. All right. All right.
It's really disappointing when they...
If you get a chance, go to MoJoWildRice.com. That's MoJoWildRice.com. So I was talking to my mom yesterday on the phone. She goes, hey, what's that rice company? And I said, Nostalgia. She goes, I want to order some because I love it. She's ordered in the past, but she can't remember it.
How do you spell Nostalgia?
And then she said, how do you spell Nostalgia? Mind you, my mom cannot spell anything. You should see the shopping list that she'd give us to go to the store.
Could you read the word?
LETUS, 2 words. I mean, it's really bad. God bless her. She's a brilliant woman, but not so much with the spelling. And so I'm like, M-I-N, and I just go to MoJoWildRice.com. Well, that isn't what it was before, because that was a different place I worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but what is the MoJo? Then I had to explain MoJo, and I actually said to her, $20 the same as downtown. And there was this pause, and I just went, just go to MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com. Try the only native grain to North America. It is fantastic. You will love this stuff. And they're a proud sponsor of ours, and you'll be helping us out. The price point's really low on most of their products, and you get to sample. I suggest the sampler packs because you get to try a bunch of different things.
So you're suggesting if you'd like to sample to get
the sampler packs, right? Because you get some of the pepper jelly in some of them, and the whipped honeys.
Well, yeah.
Awesome stuff. MoJoWildRice.com. Go there today and try the sampler packs. You're going to be happy you did.
You'd like whipped honey. You buy that sampler pack.
Yeah, they didn't want me to lead so much with that, but
but
okay.
you know, since it's out there, I say go big or go home.
I like where your head's at on that thing. All right, more of your Daily Mojo coming up when we still have much more to get to about your upcoming midterm elections and a few other gems, including a Building America segment. All next on Mojo 50.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Turkish President Erdogan tells his country's parliament that we know Jamal Khashoggi was murdered. And Erdogan claims the Saudis plotted the killing days before Khashoggi entered the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, never to be seen again. President Trump threatening to cut American financial aid to Central American countries and failed to stop migrants from heading north bound for the U.S.
We give them hundreds of millions of dollars. They do nothing for us.
Leaders of both parties making a final big push as it comes down to the wire for the midterms.
With midterm election day fast approaching, the big hitters for both parties were on the campaign trail Monday. President Donald Trump was in Houston stumping for former rival U.S. Senator Ted Cruz.
Nobody has helped me more with your tax cuts, with your regulation.
Former President Barack Obama was in Las Vegas promoting U.S. Senate candidate Jackie Rosen and other Nevada Democrats.
This November's elections are more important than any I can remember in my lifetime, and that includes when I was on the ballot.
Also on the stump were Donald Trump Jr. and former Vice President Joe Biden. Election day is in 2 weeks. Mike Gracia, Washington.
Wisconsin authorities hoping for as many as 2,000 volunteers to help in the search for 13-year-old Jamie Kloss. He's been missing since her parents were killed in their home 8 days ago, and tips led authorities to call for another ground search today. A man who police say shot and killed a University of Utah student outside an on-campus dorm last evening has been found dead, apparently of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The female student's body was discovered around 9 p.m. in a car near the medical towers. Police say the 37-year-old suspect and the student had a previous relationship. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures down 255 points. NASDAQ futures off 102. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's DIA Thrive.com.
Hey, it's Doc Thompson. Got the new show on MoJo 5-0 coming up. Hopefully you'll join us for that. And as a regular feature, my good friend, my life partner, Chef Patrick Mosier. I mean that in a food sort of way.
I would hope so.
Yeah. You'll be joining us on the broadcast as well?
Absolutely. Every day that you ask me to.
Talking food and business and prostitutes, right? Because you're the food biz pro, and that's what the pro's for.
It's all about cocaine and hookers.
It's all about cocaine and hookers until somebody gets arrested. And then it's about the legal system. And well, you get the point. We'll be talking food and food trends and business. And of course, we'll be spotlighting business as I always have on my broadcast. But Chef Patrick Mosier will join us, and he has his own platform starting soon on Spoonie Radio.
Spoonie Radio, 24-hour food talk radio.
Can you really talk about food for 24 hours a day?
I could, but even I don't want to listen to myself talk about food for 24 hours. So we will have
somebody will.
Someone will be on the air 24 hours a day talking food, fun, travel, culture, and more than anything, food.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com, use promo code DOC, and get 15% off your purchase. That's neverforgottenapparel.com.
Mothership has landed.
Get those communiques into us right now. MeWe.com. Sign up for an account. MeWe.com. It's like me and we. That's stupid. How else could I say that? MEWE. Like just me or the together.
Or we. Me and we.
MeWe.com. And I tried to explain that to my mom yesterday, too. It's like a constant who's on first scenario or scene with us.
Raising parents is hard. It's very difficult.
From every angle.
Yeah.
MeWe.com. Sign up for an account. Get your tweets in via Twitter as well, or get tweets in via Twitter. Other social media posts as well, like Facebook.
John over on MeWe said, "Sweet Mother of Moses, every time Biden spoke, I got to thinking that this nation owes Dan Quayle an apology." That's really, sadly, it's true.
Based on people's comments talking about Beto and just the abomination of him using Beto, it's so obvious and it's so ridiculous that people on the left, who are the ones who always lead with this nonsense of things like cultural appropriation, have like, Beto, please, you just want people to think he's brown. He's not brown. Stop it.
He is creamy white.
He is, and that can be yummy too.
Oh,
but
yes.
just stop. It's at best a lie. That's what you're doing there. You're lying to people.
White chocolate is good, but it is not real chocolate. And I happen to like white chocolate.
I love white chocolate, but it's
it
not
is
chocolate. It's
real
just
chocolate.
something else.
Yes.
Let's call it something else.
It's white.
By the way, so many people mentioning Beto. I think I know what happened. I think we're pronouncing it wrong. I think there's because you heard in the video of the kids on college, Beto, whatever. I think I know what we did.
What we do?
Maybe it's not cultural appropriation. Maybe we misunderstood his nickname.
That's possible. What, like,
I mean, because supposedly he's had this nickname since he was a kid. Maybe it's not Beto. Maybe it's Beta.
Like the beta testing, like
beta male.
Oh, that's absolutely possible.
Because Beto is definitely a beta. Is Beto an alpha?
No.
Please, no.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay, so help me understand this. You got the alpha male, right?
Yep.
Which is like Ron
Phillips. That's Ron Phillips over there.
Like here, right?
Yeah.
You got the alpha male, right? King of the heat, knows what's going on, getting things done.
Yes.
And then you got the beta male, which is really kind of weak, right? You got the
he's the assistant. He's the assistant to the alpha,
right?
Hey,
something
run and
like
fetch
that.
me some coffee.
Gopher type thing.
Yes.
And then what's below beta? It's wuss, right?
I
Wussy?
think so. I believe that, yes.
Wussy.
It's alpha, beta, and then wuss.
Alpha male, and you got beta male, and you got wussy.
Wussy.
And then where does girly man fall on that? Is that above it? And then she-male is way down there.
But she-male does have it.
I'm putting she-male more masculine than beta.
Yes, I think.
Beta O'Rourke?
You don't want to mess with a she-male.
I mean, beta is an upsell for him.
You don't know if they're going to scratch your eyes out or punch you in the face.
Right, because see, you go, okay, we're going to call him beta because he's a beta male, and you're like, who would want to be known as the beta male?
Right.
That's like an upsell.
Yeah.
That's better for him.
Yes, it is.
He's like she-male O'Rourke.
Yeah, that didn't play well with the test audiences. They got confused, quite frankly.
All right, I want you. They can't see you behind the mirror here.
We're gonna throw out some nicknames.
What do you got for your candidate? Let's see what do you got?
She-male.
She-male. You mean like online with the?
Yes. At both parts, we're looking.
Well, I mean, in certain communities, but as a whole, and that's probably not going to be something I would.
Well, it was easy. It was our consultant's way of trying to capture both sides of the political spectrum. You have the she's and the he's.
And the she-male.
Right. So she-male.
I'm going to throw this out there. I know. How about he-woman?
It just doesn't have the same ring. I think there's too many syllables there. He woman, just no. She male. She male. It's like shabab.
It's growing on me. I got to tell you, it was a surprise when you first said it, as she-males always are.
The legend gets bigger on down the line. Yes, they just keeps coming.
Hey, President Trump was campaigning in Houston last night and said some odd things.
Incredible. He is a man with tremendous spirit.
Tremendous.
He asked me for more money than any human being has ever asked me. I got to tell you, first of all, his name happens to be Governor Greg Abbott.
Okay, that's not so shocking, right? Shocking.
Where is he?
Greg Abbott is, a good guy. Here's the thing. He's looking around for him. Where is he?
Please tell me he doesn't say stand up.
No,
Where is he?
He's in the wheelchair, though, but
He's the greatest guy.
he's
Where
looking.
is he? I think he's here. There's a lot of people in this.
He's
an
moved on.
incredible
Here's another one.
senator. He represents you so well. He's always fighting for you. And he was the one that asked Dianne Feinstein, did you leak? Remember?
He's talking about Ted Cruz.
Talking about Lion Ted.
That seems odd. That's a bit of a failure here.
Yeah, it does.
Lion Ted?
Lion Ted.
Okay.
That's what he referred to him as during the campaign.
He was loving on Cruz last night, and Cruz loving on Trump.
Yeah.
That was just politics.
And that's why people
There
get
it
so
is.
irritated.
That's it.
Because none of this crap seems real. You project down the road 2 or 3 years, and you know they're all going to be hugging and loving on each other.
Overall, I give Ted Cruz pretty high marks. He's done pretty well. Overall, I've given President Trump pretty high marks. But that doesn't, stop the fact that they called each other the worst things.
Yes, they were at each other's throats during the game. Well, that's just the way you have to play the game. But come on.
People are tired of that. Just be honest.
But I don't know how you get out of it now. So,
but anyways, he's the one who said Diane leaks.
I see what he did there, because leaks.
Yeah, and I was like, she's getting up there in age, right? I mean, these things happen. I've heard seniors have some.
It's hard to find one person, even when he's tall, and another tall guy who is an incredible senator. He represents you so well. He's always fighting.
The tall
for you.
guy too. He's not
and
that tall.
He was the one that asked Dianne Feinstein, "Did you leak?"
Wait a minute. Who was the first?
Oh my gosh, I did. Did it show?
Who was the first tall guy he was referring to?
I think Greg Abbott.
Okay,
I could be wrong. I could.
Weird.
That
he
is.
would say that.
He might have been talking about somebody else. I'm going to give you that right off. I just know as I skimmed through the video that he was whatever. So.
Remember? And she went,
Wow.
So he was the one. He said, looks over to her, remember? During the hearings, those horrible hearings where they were so nasty and horrible, to a great gentleman who's going to go down as one of our greatest Supreme Court justices ever.
Everything is going to be the best, going to be the greatest ever. And people are like, yes, greatest ever.
He goes out and he's on the committee. And he goes, "Did you leak?" And she went, "Oh, what? No, I don't. Wait a minute, let me check. Did we leak? No, we didn't leak. Oh, no, that was the worst body language. Wow. She was so guilty of leaking.
We gave Obama.
She leaked. John Cornyn was great. He was.
We gave Obama so much crap about when he'd get off teleprompter, how he'd end up somewhere off in the ditch in the weeds.
But at least Trump's
it's entertaining,
is fun, is
it
clever.
Is.
At that point, he was talking about Cornyn, obviously.
It's like, wow. There are days you go, wow, that's the president of the United States.
Hey, Ron Phillips, do we have that Nancy Pelosi clip? Do we have the one from the weekend where she's being heckled?
I do.
I had to put this one in. We had to beep this one.
Good.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. She was at a restaurant in Florida, and some people saw her and had some things to say.
Excuse me, Nancy Pelosi.
Why?
That's not Nancy.
You're gonna have a problem. Excuse me, this is a public walkway, so. Are you blocking us in too? Excuse me, sorry, sir. I can't let you go. People before. Look at Nancy Pelosi right here. Look at this piece of shit right here. Look at this piece of shit Pelosi right here. Fucking communist. You don't belong here, you fucking communist. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
And then they start banging on the door.
Wow.
Listen to him. Traitor. So she runs inside this restaurant, goes into this door, and they're down this like little public kind of alleyway that leads to it.
Right.
And they just start banging on the door. This is people on the right that are going off on Nancy Pelosi. Now, I don't disagree with a lot of what they were expressing there. I don't disagree. But this may not be the best way to express it. Is it their right to vocalize these oppositions? Yes. At some point, you are potentially in danger of harassing somebody. So I support their right to do it. Rule number 5 says, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
So maybe you shouldn't. Harassment is still an issue. But shouldn't we be better than that?
Yeah.
I understand the frustration. I would be less bothered by this if it was challenging her on ideas and votes rather than just calling her an effing piece of S.
Yeah, the beeps almost bleeped it all out. Too.
Almost. You got most of it, yeah.
It's people are frustrated. Is there a better way to do it? Yeah, but are people ever going to do it the better way? I don't think so. No, we've gone down this road. We're too far down the road.
Now, I understand the frustration of saying Nancy is not going to answer if they say, hey, what about that vote on House Bill 3812?
Right.
You know, she's not going to answer those things, and they're trying to make a spectacle. So there's a couple things going on. This is the same weekend when Mitch McConnell was harassed at a restaurant.
Oh, boy.
In Louisville with his wife.
I didn't hear that one.
You didn't hear it? I think I have that one right here.
Mitch.
So this is some guy stands up and starts yelling at Mitch McConnell and his wife. This video that we have comes halfway into him yelling. And then other people stand up and tell him to get out and start arguing with him for him harassing Mitch McConnell. Listen.
Oh, yeah? Why don't you get out of here? Why don't you leave the entire country?
Why don't you leave our entire country is the guy yelling at Mitch McConnell and his wife. Why don't you get out and leave our entire country? I don't know why he's okay. Those are people yelling at him then.
See, what this is going to lead to, because it does appear that these things are escalating. They're happening more and more often. This is going to lead into somebody getting shot. Well,
and let's not forget, I forget this all of the time myself. A year ago, just over a year ago, we had congressman shot.
Steve Scalise.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about that. Guys, we forget that. A sitting congressman was shot for his political ideas, granted by somebody who is clearly crazy.
Yeah. And this came out of the blue. I mean, they were out there playing softball, and he essentially was sniping.
Have we gotten better since then?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
It's gotten more contentious. So you're right.
And
Unless something changes, something bad is coming.
And what's her name in Arizona? The one who was shot?
Gabby Giffords.
Yes.
Although she was not shot for anything political. It could have been anybody on stage that was gathering at that point.
Right.
It was just a crowd gathering, and Jared Loeffner shot her.
That's right. And it's horrible when this happens to anybody, but it's going to end up in somebody dying, and then who knows where we go from there.
Right.
I don't know the answer to it. We're devolving.
So it happens on both sides. Obviously, it's very heated. People are not. But the interesting thing, or another interesting thing about Nancy being heckled, she was being heckled by Spanish people of Spanish descent.
She ain't used to that.
She's not. So why were these Hispanics heckling her? First of all, there are more Hispanics that support Trump than have supported some Republicans in the past, and more blacks that have as well. Many more minorities.
Right.
A shocking number. But they are because she was supporting Cuba, and specifically the Castros.
And yes, okay, and that makes sense. Why?
So these were Cuban Americans. A really bad precedent if you want to win people over in South Florida. They understand what Castro and that regime has been about.
Yeah. She's not used to that sort of thing. And again, it's not good when it's from either side of the aisle. But I don't know where we go from here.
Yeah, it's just going to get worse. That's all. I don't see anything that is bringing us to a place where we are less contentious. I don't know where it.
Well, and then what happens is the politicians become more and more sequestered. Again, back when my sister, who's 10 years older than I am, when she was a kid, there's pictures of her sitting on the front steps of the White House. You could walk right up to the front steps you could walk up to the front door of the White House back then.
Yeah, I mean, back in the 1800s, sure, of course you could.
And this was only back in the 50s. No, probably early 60s. You can walk, and now you can't get within, a quarter of a mile of the thing. They got the fences up.
Well,
and
they
all
just
that.
have certain doors that you can go in now for the official tour.
But you
and
have
that's
to
it.
walk. But you can't just
it's high
walk
security,
up. You
yeah.
can't get close to it. You could just walk up. Then we're going to get to a point where every politician is going to have to ride around in a bulletproof car and be, in a bubble.
every one of them, even on the smaller levels, your
Uh-huh.
mayor and everything. So, of course, when they heckled Nancy, then Nancy comes out and, of course, plays the victim. This type of rhetoric is dangerous and just points the finger at people on the right and ignores all of the others.
Right.
But the interesting thing, just last week, Nancy was talking about, how inflammatory things have become and the tensions. And she doesn't seem all that concerned about it, at least part of what she said. It's about a minute and a half. Listen to this.
We have to have total clarity about what we do when it comes to everything. A woman's right to choose, gay marriage. Well, we didn't pass a marriage equality. That was in the courts, but hopefully that will be protected. But we passed other LGBTQ legislation, because
She's Aunt Clara, by the way, from Bewitched.
Yes.
She's Clara, by the way.
immigration, whether it's about gun safety, whether it's about climate. We didn't even talk about climate. I was talking to Ed Markey when I was coming over here, talking about wanting to establish, again, a select committee on climate, and with the storms and the rest, increased interest in it. And he said, remember that what we said was we wanted to pass an overwhelming number of jobs in order to protect all of our society. I mean, this is...
We want to pass...
You want to clean that one up?
We want to pass...
Clarify that?
Overwhelming number of jobs.
We want to pass those.
Yes, we want to pass those jobs, which sounds painful, quite frankly, to...
well, the big ones are, yeah.
Yes, they really are. You need more fiber in your diet for that. But to clean up, what you say, clean up our society?
Yeah, I think to help. Yeah.
But, so she said, she used a lot of words and really
so many
didn't
words.
say...
all of our society.
Yeah, all of our society.
Yeah.
All of our society. I mean, this is about prosperity. As your former mentor won the Nobel Prize, showing the relationship between environment and prosperity.
For people who don't know, Bill Nordhaus, who shared the Nobel Prize and won it for his work on climate economics, was my original...
Not Jack Klugman.
No, the different
mentor. Yeah. I was his research assistant when I was a junior in college. So, anyway, yeah.
He mentored well, didn't he? Anyway. your mentor mentored well.
It's Krugman. Yeah, not Klugman.
Yeah. So this is.
So anyway, I think that we owe the American people.
Okay, now listen to this.
To be there for them, for their financial security. Respecting the dignity and worth of every person.
Respecting the dignity and worth of every person. You got that?
Brett Kavanaugh.
Okay. Dignity and worth of every person.
Country. And if there's some collateral damage for some others who do not share our view, well, so be it. But it should be our original purpose.
If you don't agree with us, up yours. And
the dignity of all people.
Yes.
If you don't agree with us, though, it'll just be collateral damage.
Yeah. That is.
So the woman who just played victim shows her hypocrisy once again. They don't care about these things.
No, of course not.
None of this. It's just never let an opportunity go to waste.
Yes.
That's who they are. That's what they believe.
It is political theater.
And most of the time, I would say that's horrible. Never let that opportunity go to waste.
Right.
When you're talking politically, if it's a tragedy, because they were talking, what's his name? Rahm Emanuel.
Right.
Was never let the tragedy go to waste. You got to use it. But I would say never let an opportunity go to waste. It depends on that opportunity. If it's a tragedy and you're going to capitalize, that's wrong. But just an opportunity, you shouldn't let those go to waste.
No.
Like the opportunity to have a brand new Element mattress for half price.
See, that is a one opportunity you do not want to let.
All you have to do is go to elementmattress.com, use the promo code MoJo50, and you'll get 50% off. 50% off at elementmattress.com. Element Mattress, simply the best mattress you can get. The convenience of having them just deliver it to your house is worth its weight. You don't have to go through the nonsense of going to the mattress store, which is a horrible experience. it shouldn't be that bad, but these are some of the shadiest people when you go to the mattress stores. I've shared my experience about the very scientific test to see if the mattress is firm enough for you.
The arm.
So stupid.
I can push your arm down.
And I was like, oh, okay, great. Sure.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It is simply the best mattress. And you're like, well, yeah, but if I don't go, how do I know if I'm going to like it? Simple. Buy the mattress. Try it for up to 100 nights at home. If you don't love it, send it back. You'll get a full refund.
Yeah.
The full refund.
And they'll come pick it up. I mean, you don't have to like box it up and take it to the post office or anything. They'll come pick it up.
You just, you don't have to do that. You don't have to take it like in a caravan or anything like that.
Nope.
And if you do like it and you're like, yeah, but what if something goes wrong a year or so down the road? It comes with a free lifetime warranty. And you can get 50% off. Now, this is top of the line. So, yeah, it's not going to be the cheapest mattress you get. But with that 50% off, oh, my gosh, that is wonderful. And we're talking about not just memory foam because that's, it has a negative connotation for some people.
Right. Well, it's the older memory foam mattresses. They made you, because they conformed and they didn't breathe, they made you sweaty.
And these ones now, you can get firmer ones, softer ones. Yeah. I love the Element Copper mattress that I have. If you try the Element Copper mattress, you'll have peace of mind knowing that it's scientifically proven to be antibacterial, antifungal, and kill dust mites. So if you worry about being fungal on your mattress or bacterial, worry no more when you get the Element Copper mattress at elementmattress.com. But remember the promo code MoJo50 because you're going to get 50% off. They have never done this for anybody else ever. Any other broadcast, any other advertising campaign, not to friends and family, exclusively MoJo50, but time is running out.
Yep.
So get it today. Elementmattress.com, promo code MoJo50.
DMXDM tweeted, Nancy Pelosi is an old lady robot, right? She's not really alive anymore. I mean, you can't be that stupid and still be alive or in Congress, right? Wrong. No,
Did you say she's in Congress?
She's in Congress.
Oh, okay. Or incontinent.
Incontinent. I think both apply. 1024th Spook Taint Sleeve. Shorter Nancy Pelosi. So many words. So many words. Cigar Hero tweeted, I don't want anyone to hurt any of these politicians, but I have no problem with them with making them feel uncomfortable for destroying our country.
Yes, I will give you that. And there's that fine line because I agree. Shout the stuff. I've yelled at politicians. And it's particularly frustrating when they won't answer to the charges. At some point, if you're a politician, let's say you're really transparent, you've had meeting after meeting in town halls and you take calls and people still are heckling you. Yeah. I mean, it's like, dude, I've done my part. I've been transparent, answered questions. So I could see where it would become harassment as well. But I think something far worse is coming.
Then that's the problem. DMXDM also tweeted, I'm not quite sure that bleeping just the C out of the F-bombs counts as a full bleep.
What are you talking about? It was a perfect bleeping.
That was a model bleeping. I mean, that was kudos to the audio editor on that particular.
Well, listen, if you have trouble with the audio editor, we'll just let them know later on after the show.
Yeah.
Because some people have trouble with the writers, too. Some of the content. So just, pass that along. Yeah, and
we'll take care of them.
Share that information.
We will, in the big corporate meeting, we'll publicly flog them.
Okay, sounds good.
On YouTube even. So, yeah, that's what we'll do.
I get the tweets in via Twitter, post on Facebook, and also post on MeWe.com. Go to MeWe.com, sign up for an account, and please follow or like Brad and I. What is not actually following, liking it?
Yeah, it's no, just follow and like us. Why not?
Can't remember their terminology.
Send us money.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
Hey guys, it's Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. Everyone lives with a little bit of pain, but living with diabetes can be a real pain. While you may have to test your blood sugar and take insulin, ordering your testing supplies shouldn't be one more pain you have to deal with. At least it's not when you work with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to your home when you need them. Gone are the days of visiting multiple stores to find the right strips, waiting in long lines to purchase your supplies, or sorting through your insurance requirements to figure out what they cover. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive saves you time and money. Plus, they're pretty fun to work with, too. So why don't you give DiaThrive a chance to show you there's a better way to manage your diabetes? They're so convinced that you'll love their service that they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code MATT, that's M-A-T-T, at checkout. Be sure to head out to the web right now and check these guys out. It's DiaThrive.com.
We've arrived.
What do you mean?
We've hit the big time.
What are you talking about?
I didn't tell you. We're live on MoJo 50 now.
Oh, that. I could have sworn they were just pulling a fast one on us.
Either that or someone at the top has had a mild stroke. Regardless, we now have to make a promo.
Okay, well, that seems simple enough. How long does this have to be?
I was told that we need to take about 60 seconds or so and tell everyone about ourselves.
All right. I was born in a blizzard in the bleak hours of the morning in November.
No, I don't think we need to go back quite that far.
All right, then. I'm Steven.
And I'm Dylan, and we're hosts of the Defenders of American Exceptionalism,
or DOAE show for short.
And we are live Wednesdays and Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on MoJo 50.
We go through the politics of today and how it affects the culture and vice versa. And we try to bring it back to the Constitution and the principles above privilege.
You know, I feel like there should be a shirt made with that on it.
Yeah, we already have that.
Oh, so don't forget to check us out. Defenders of American Exceptionalism live Wednesdays and Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern on MoJo 50.
That in reference to
what?
Lori D tainted jackhole number 9. Number 9.
What'd she say?
She said, like, at Doc Thompson Show and at Real Brad's Tags, listen to anyone but Nicole.
That's in reference to all the commercials.
Yeah, I got that part, but what was she updating it about today, though? Because obviously the Nicole is the commercials, but what did we say today? That we been drinking again. No, she doesn't stop.
Lori fell off the wagon, apparently, and she's drinking again.
Which is when you're drinking again? When you've fallen off or you're on the wagon?
You fell off the wagon if you're drinking again. Which is hard to do because you fall off, you think you'd spill everything.
So if you're on the wagon...
on the wagon, you're not drinking.
What wagon? I've always been very confused about this on and off.
Sober wagon.
And are those hard and fast rules? Because that's an older term. If back in the day, if I had said, he's on the wagon again, meaning he's drinking again, would people be like, dude?
No, he's on the wagon. He's not drinking. He fell off.
I know,
the
that's what I'm saying. If
drinking.
I screwed it up, would people be like, dude, you screwed that up,
Well,
man?
see, now I think they call it a relapse. A relapse. He fell off the wagon. Is that we're going to get to a point
What's
where no one knows
the wagon.
I have no idea, and in 20 years, no one's going to know what a wagon is. So,
wagon. That's like a broken record.
Right. No one. They'll still understand a broken record, but they'll think what a broken record means is that somebody had a record, the fastest
runner
mile,
or something,
and that they broke that record.
Right.
That's what they'll think.
But I mean, the reference to now you sound like a broken record. We say that, and I realize they have no idea what that means.
No, because there is glitching. Glitching is the modern lagging is the modern broken record.
You sound like you're a lagging record.
Lagging, yes. No, you sound like you're lagging. That's what you would say now. Laggy, because that's what happens when you're.
I don't think that's a thing, though.
It's a different. Young minds, fresh ideas. Pretty soon we're going to be irrelevant.
All right, get the tweets in the comments on MeWe. 1024 spook taint sleeve. Remember, spook is offensive to some people. Use darky. We now go live to Nancy Pelosi, and he has a GIF or GIF, whichever you call it, of the Crypt Keeper.
Nancy Pelosi doesn't look that good. Sneaking Doc.
She really looks Crypt Keeper-esque.
Doc Thompson, please remember that practically every time you say Brad and I, you should be saying Brad and me.
Brad and me, sorry.
Brad and me, that would be technically ass backwards, but that's all right. It should always be if you can say them individually. I went to the store, Doc went to the store, Doc and I went to the store.
And what about me?
We went buy some beer. Me? Oh, you never say me went to the store. You say me, we. See how I pulled that pulled that one right back in. You sound like a number 2 pencil on a cassette tape. According to Stephen English.
What do we got here? You brought me a little present.
Is a very nice watch. And let me just say,
thank you for this, Brad. This is
for you, the world.
Nice. Holy moly!
I was going to ask you to marry me, but it just seems like so anticlimactic.
This is a Minuteman watch.
This is a Minuteman watch,
handcrafted in America.
These are amazing timepieces. I've had Minuteman watches now for years, and when I do wear a watch, and I don't wear one every day, but they are fabulous watches. Yep, they look. See how good it look right there, the face right in front of the face. This is one that you're going to be that you have the chance to win. And when I say you listening or watching, because we're going to give this away on Black Friday. Right? Is it part of the package, or are we doing each one separately?
No, this is going to be part of one big package. Ring the bell.
Mm-hmm.
One big package on Black Friday. So we're going to do a Black Friday marathon where we just give away free commercials. It's a Building America marathon that I've done in years past for a couple of hours at a time. But what? Oh, okay. Bring them on in, would you? I was on the phone, Ron. You got a Building America. But we've decided to do it for a 12-hour marathon on both of our platforms.
Somebody thought that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was.
Sir. And just give away free commercials like we've done. So if you have a business somewhere in America, by all means, be prepared to call us on Black Friday and share your story on social media. We'll retweet your stuff or whatever like we've done. This is going to be huge for us. But we also decided let's help some of these businesses by giving some products away. The Minuteman watches, if you go to MinutemanWatch.com, is it watches.com?
It's
I think MinutemanWatches.com. These are all really one of a kind because they're all individually handmade.
Yeah.
So while there may be some that look kind of similar to it, they're all individually made in America by one guy. He's that passionate about them, just loves making watches. We're going to give this away. And you can enter now just by going to MoJo50.com and giving us your email address. Now, we're not going to use that for the purposes of massive spam. We're not selling it or anything like that. This is just for internal. Yeah, just go ahead and push the button. You're good to go. Future being able to, sign up for newsletters and stuff like that, which you'd always be able to opt out of. So you could trust us with that. Sign up today, but this is just one thing. Do we know what else we're putting in?
There is a... where'd Matt go? Matt,
I'm trying to remember.
I think there's a gun thrown in there.
Oh, yeah,
too.
yeah. Tar River Arms.
Yeah.
Tar River Arms is putting in a gun.
What else is in the package, Matt?
Tar River and Minuteman so far. So far, we've got some other things we're adding. So just sign up today at MoJo50.com. So that's the big thing, MoJo50.com. Hey, joining us now in studio, Jim, is it Buchanan? Buchanan. We got to get this. Is that right on there? Push that button. There you go.
How's that?
Doing well. Jim Buchanan from Buchanan Technologies. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you today?
Doing fine.
Good.
So what is Buchanan Technologies?
Well, we're a service provider, IT services provider. We're based in Grapevine, Texas.
Okay.
And we've got a 30-year-old business that started here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
And you started this yourself?
I did.
With how many employees?
Out of my apartment, so it was just me for the first year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Pretty good story.
And now you have 350 employees with offices in the U.S. and Europe?
Europe, U.S., and Canada. That's right.
And you said 30 years you've been around?
Yeah, going on 31.
Okay, so the first year, do you think you were going to make it 30?
I just wanted to be a consultant, and then just go out and sell my wares. I was a technical guy, and it just started ballooning from there, and started hiring people. Put a bunch of people in my apartment until the cops showed up with a big camera. Yeah, no doubt.
Really?
They showed up with a big camera and said, "What are you guys doing in here?" And I said, "Well, IT services." And I thought, well, maybe I ought to get an office. So we got an office in Las Colinas. We were in Las Colinas for about 20 years.
Wow.
And then we grew in the Las Colinas space, and then we moved into the Grapevine space just north of DFW Airport.
That's great. That's a great story, though. But yeah, and IT, what the hell does that mean, buddy?
Yeah, right.
What is that short for?
Yeah,
that's
like
some drug reference or something like that.
No. We put the bed against the wall, and we were burning computers in the bathroom and in the kitchen, and that's how we got started.
By the way, I'm still not sure you weren't doing something shady. This is really sounding that way.
So they showed up with a camera.
When you how did you open your first, or when you hired your first couple of employees? Who were they? What jobs did they do?
Yeah, they my very first employee, still a dear friend of mine. His name is Doug Reeves, and Doug was my very first interview that I ever had. I didn't know how to interview. I didn't know how to put. This is before emails, before cell phones, it's before all that stuff. It's right at the beginning of the PCs. And Doug would come into the apartment, and I'd say, do you know this? And he'd say no. And I said, well, you got to teach this tomorrow, so you might want to learn it. And then he'd go home and learn it, and develop some good materials. And so we started off teaching corporations on technology. And then we started working with helping them implement the technology. And then we got into bigger and bigger projects. So we ended up doing some pretty amazing things. Our team supported the Dallas Cowboys for 12 years. And our team helped build out the technology in the new Cowboy Stadium. And we've just done some really neat, neat stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like you go in a lot of different directions, which is interesting too. So when you say IT, so you've done hardware, software, and then
development,
the application,
web development. We've got a field techs all around the world, around the U.S. and Canada, certainly, and then Europe.
So you had such a loose goal, which I find interesting too. You said you just want to be a consultant, you're a tech guy.
Yeah.
As these opportunities popped up, was it more like, well, yeah, I think we could do that?
Absolutely.
And let's tackle this.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to have the confidence to know you can step in and do something for someone, and if you don't know it, then sometimes you have to fake it till you make it.
Right.
But you know, if you have confidence in yourself, that's a big part of it here. You know, so.
And 30 years ago, I remember working on a computer 30 years ago, and that was IT back then. I mean, the old PCs. Right. I remember the computer I had. You'd boot it up, you'd hit start. I could go down the hall. I could get coffee. I could I could talk to a couple people. I could come back, sit down, and finally, that was about the time that the computer fully booted up. Yeah. Were you teaching corporations how to deal with that kind of technology back then?
Right. Yeah. It was really just the very beginning of the PC. It's right when IBM first came out with the very first computers, and they thought they were toys.
And that was before Windows, even.
Way before Windows. Yeah. This is the early versions of DOS.
Wow.
This is Lotus
so
123.
Late 80s.
WordPerfect. Harvard graphics.
I would have given up.
DBase 3. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah. The green.
That's
the
pretty
green letters
highbrow,
on the
yeah.
screen. Remember those the monitors with the green?
It's the
glowing
basics, man. But you know, it hasn't changed in 30 years. I mean, they put GUIs on it and they've done things, but it's still the foundation.
You said GUIs. That's a
graphical user interface.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
makes it easier.
Do you remember when the beads on the abacus were green?
I do. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, and teaching horses how to with their hooves. That was always a challenge. And I mean, some people say that was harder than IT. Yeah. And I tend to agree with them.
Wow, that's such a great ride, though. And one of the things we've heard over and over again on our Building America segments is that successful people that have had a good run, whatever it is, have the basic, I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm not going to give up. That you've just got to keep doing it. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely, I do. When I moved to Texas, I was 19, and I started my company when I was 20, 21, 22 years old. You know, so it's not about having a degree. It's about perseverance, and it's about, you're going to get it wrong a lot, and when you get it wrong, you have to step back and take your lumps, and then get back on the horse and keep riding. And that's the easiest thing I can say, is that if you just keep persevering, you'll ultimately get further than if you didn't. Right?
Yeah,
you might not make your goal, but you may get halfway. But you know,
and you'll learn even from the failures. You know, it's so funny. Brad and I were talking about this the other day. We had a friend of ours in the industry who called us and said, "Listen, guys, I see what you guys are building, and you guys are doing. You know, it was very complimentary of what we've put together with our new platforms and that." And he goes, "But I think there's some things you could do a little bit better." And he gave us some advice, which was sound advice. It was awesome. And some of it we knew, we had talked about months before, and it just, you know, you end up at a certain place. But I told Brad after we got off the phone call with him, I said, that's really difficult for me to do, to sit and listen to criticism. And it's not because I mind being, I mean, I'm criticized on this program constantly every day. It's not that I'm afraid to fail. It's not that it's internally, I feel so bad about it, it takes the wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
So it's not that you would criticize me or somebody else. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not that. I just feel it takes the wind out of my sails, and I don't have that same energy.
I can't believe I wasn't doing it the right way. And, you know, I've put all this effort, and I've been doing it the wrong way, and I feel like I should just quit.
The failure aspect in my head makes me not want to get up and do it. And it's not being the failure. Does that make any sense? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure. Well, I think there's a difference between criticism and constructive criticism.
Okay.
You know, if you're looking at criticism in terms of just what you've done wrong, and you know, it's just being a failure, then that's going to drive you down. But if you look at the criticism and you try to find constructive things in it, you pull those pieces out, those nuggets that basically can really, if you strip away your pride and your ego, and you look at what can really make you better, and apply those, it can be powerful.
Pride and ego. I'm a married man, so those are long gone. So I am really close to this thing, Jim. So, Jim, tell us a little bit more about what you do, and if people are in need of services that you may provide, what type of things would that be?
So we do, if you go to Buchanan.com, we could do online, you can apply for field dispatch services and have someone come out the same day or next business day, anywhere in the United States, Canada, and Eastern Europe, to basically have us come out and help you with technology problems. That's the first fundamental thing we do. If you have projects, infrastructure projects or application development projects that you're trying to get done, whether it be web or SharePoint, or maybe you're trying to install or upgrade systems, we do a lot of that work as well. We've got 5 service delivery centers, 4 in the U.S., 1 in Canada. And so if you're looking for 24/7 support, or you want someone to help monitor or manage your systems for like backups and threat protection and monitoring and management, patching, those kinds of things, we do that as well. So we're really pretty much a full services IT services firm, depending upon what the customers need. If all you want to do is you want to hire an IT guy to come in and help you build a website, we've got IT guys. We can provide them to you. You can
all
hire
different levels.
All different levels. We can provide them to you on an hourly basis. You can hire the guy if you want to hire the guy. What we try to do is just find solutions for our customers based upon where the customer's needs lie.
See, I love how flexible you guys are with this too, because you don't see a lot of that in the world.
Well,
that's really cool.
It's great, and it's also our Achilles heel too, because when you try to put that into an elevator pitch, it's difficult, and you just have to say, well, we're an IT services firm. What do you need, kind of thing. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. And it's Buchanan.com.
That's
I
right.
gotta tell you, incredibly insightful of your parents to name you what your future company would be named. Right. It's incredible. I mean, that just doesn't happen very often.
By the way, one of our listeners wanted to ask if he needs an experienced SharePoint farm admin.
As a matter of fact, we do need some SharePoint people right now. You can apply online. We're constantly hiring. I think we have anywhere from 30 to 50 open recs at any time.
Well, there you go.
Certainly from in the Dallas area, it's very strong. In the Toronto area, is very strong. But we have opportunities around the United States.
Notice how I just nodded in agreement, like I understood what they were talking about.
I was like,
have
yes,
no
idea what a farm admin is.
It's share farming, sharecropping,
exactly.
something. Notice Ron in there the whole time, because Ron's a tech guy. Ron's like, oh my gosh, you mentioned DOS, and Ron just all these codes and names, and I was like, okay, Ron, just settle down there, buddy.
He loves it all in there.
All right, Buchanan.com. Check it out. You can apply online for the opportunities he mentioned, and then if you are in need of IT services, Buchanan.com. Jim, thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate you telling your story here. Also got to remind you about CombatFlipFlops.com. CombatFlipFlops.com is the website you can go to get combat flip-flops.
No. It's not. You don't wear flip-flops into combat.
Thank you, sir.
You don't wear them into combat.
Are you sure?
No, this is the name of the company is Combat Flip-Flops. They actually sell flip-flops, and they are benefiting causes.
Oh, this is the one that takes a little bit of the money, and it helps the women from Afghanistan and the girls from Afghanistan.
Right.
That's one of the really cool things. And I wanted to stress too, if you hear Combat Flip-Flops, and you've probably heard Matt Locke from the Conservative Cartel mention that $5 of each one of your orders, everything you order, goes to help women and girls in Afghanistan learn, to educate them. And you may be very passionate about those things and concerned about those things, but you also probably say to yourself, well, what about people in America and girls in America? Well, they help people in America too. They help people all over the world. But this is the campaign they're working on right now, because if you educate these people around the globe, it's teaching them to fish so they can take on the dictators themselves. So they can do battle against those people, and we're not constantly sending our troops and our money because we're helping them.
And again, it's another way that by buying things that you normally would buy, you're doing something good for the world, the country, people. It's a way that you can do something good for those other than yourself.
Done right, $5 today could save you tens of thousands of dollars in maybe millions in military actions down the road and dozens of lives. Because again, you're educating people, so empowering them so they can stand up in their own countries and rebuild it and fight against these dictators, and that's what you have to do. Plus, you get some really cool stuff. Just check out all the cool stuff they have at CombatFlipFlops.com. Again, the website, CombatFlipFlops.com. If you sign up today or check it out today, you'll be helping quite a few people. Yes. CombatFlipFlops.com. And don't forget, give us your email address at MoJo50.com. MoJo50.com. And if you give us that email address, you'll be in the running for that incredible prize package that we're going to give away on Black Friday.
What do you mean it's let's go?
All righty, that is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that this is the most important election ever.
Absolutely.
Until the next most important election ever in 2020.
Get that straight now.
We learned that you should not dress your cock up for Halloween or take it trick-or-treating.
Yes, they mean
chickens either.
There, yes.
Either one.
Either one. Bad idea.
We learned either 10,000 people were willing to follow random people thousands of miles through the desert without food, water, or sanitary services, or the media is fake news. It's one or the other.
Well, that's such a harsh comparison.
It's just, I'm saying, it's one or the other.
One or the other.
I don't think it's both.
No, it cannot be both.
No.
It cannot be both.
We've learned that we've been pronouncing Robert O'Rourke's nickname all wrong. It's Beta O'Rourke.
Yes.
Because it sounds so much better than Shemale O'Rourke.
It really does.
Girly boy O'Rourke.
Yeah.
Finally, I learned that Nancy Pelosi is not running for president in 2020.
Nope.
She may be hobbling with a walker for president in 2020, but she will not be running.
No, she will
I
not be
can
running.
assure you of that.
She might fall and break a hip.
As I sit here today, she will not be running.
That's right. Exactly right.
Brad Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
Well, I learned that my homemade cock costume will go unused this year at Halloween, which is very sad.
It is homemade?
It is homemade.
It's not store-bought?
No. Would you ever buy a cock costume at the store?
I would not. I would not.
Sit at home and make mine by hand.
I look at my chicken costumes. I take them very seriously.
Yes.
So I would never get a store-bought one.
Exactly.
Never.
I also learned that if I see a caravan of 7,000 people passing by my house, I'm hiding the bathroom key, turning out the lights, and hiding. No está en casa. Don't lock in my house.
Just like your dad used to do.
Exactly. And you don't want them all coming in and using the bathroom. I learned that carrying your books to school in a microwave oven might seem over the top until, ding, popcorn's ready.
Oh, and then it's brilliant.
And
then it all makes sense. By the way, can you imagine? Can I get the restroom key? Yeah, here you go.
You have to get.
Can I get the restroom key? Just give it to the guy behind you in the caravan line.
7,000.
What was it? It is one of the Police Academy movies where the guy runs up to the bathroom or to the gas station. He's like, can I get the restroom key? And he gives him the key, and it's on a little key on a full chain around a cinder block. And he goes, hey, don't run off with that.
Yeah. Do you remember we were talking about on our little drive about pay toilets? Toilets in the caravan. Now they're making sense.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
See, if you have a capitalist bone in your body, you'd be heading to Mexico in the caravan.
By the way, I think that might be what that cartel guy, not Ron, whatever, the other guy's name, Matt Locke, what he's covering today, some on the caravan.
Yes. I learned that those sewer divers in South Carolina have a really crappy job.
It's a horrible, I would go even an SE job.
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
I learned that a leaky Dianne Feinstein is not something I want to think about. Ever.
You know what? You're right, because in my head just now, I went through many different scenarios of leaking, and none of them are good. They're all very, very bad.
And I learned that if you do fail your way to the top, if in that case, I should be sitting right on top of a big old pile anytime now.
You got a big pile. A few more failures. Just keep failing, buddy. You're on your way.
At least I'm good at it.
Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Stephen English learned that we sound like a matchbook under an 8-track. You see anachronisms and things out of time. Stinky learned that Doc Thompson doesn't mind being a failure. He just doesn't like to fail. You have to think of that's
heady.
That is a thinking man's.
I'm trying to think it there.
That's a thinking man's.
It's really bizarre. As Brad and I were talking about this. Again, it's not I'm not embarrassed by it or what. Like,
it bothers you. You didn't think about it. That you didn't. It's like obvious. Why didn't I think about that? Why wasn't I doing it that way?
I'm worried because I know it'll take the wind out of my sails, which it does. Again, I'm not embarrassed. I just feel like I should have thought about it, and therefore it just sucks the life out of me.
When that happens, just remember, you are the wind beneath my wings.
Thank you.
Stephen English also learned, did Dianne Feinstein leak? That depends. Hey-o!
See what you did there.
Yes.
See, depends is an undergarment that you wear who leak.
Incontinent.
And they leak into it. So
soaks
it
all
depends.
up.
So.
Blah, blah, blah.
Love the blah, blah, blah.
It turns out the Mexican caravan is coming to vote for Beto. That's his voter base. They're all on their way.
Is there a theme song? I feel like there should be a theme song when you're on the road. Listen, if I'm part of a Mexican caravan, I want there to be a theme song.
Who can turn the world on with the
Mary Tyler Moore theme?
I think we could probably work the lyrics into that somehow.
I was thinking more like like the Mexican hat
dance. If you
dance.
really want to culturally appropriate.
Well, no, they're all Mexicans. They're allowed to.
Yeah, but you're white.
So they would have to use the Honduran hat dance or the El Salvadorian hat dance.
You know how long it takes?
Guatemalan hat dance.
Learn that on the flamenco guitar. It's very long.
But I mean, would that get old after 2,000 miles?
10,000 bottles of cerveza on the wall. 10,000 bottles.
1,198,375,2 bottles of cerveza on the wall.
Boy, don't you know that got old after a while.
Do you think they play the license plate game? Look, there goes a car from Chihuahua. There we go, Chihuahua.
Except, why did they pick up all those people? How come I want to ride? Black Suit Lucky Farkin learned, I've made the jokes about whipped honeys the past year or two, no bell. Now he thinks of it and rings the bell for himself. Yes.
Here's the thing, Black Suit Larky Farkin. Brad ignores your comments online.
Pretty much.
The rest of us pay attention, but he has some weird vendetta against you. I don't know. I think he likes the black suit or something, where he has. I don't know if I was allowed to say this, but it was a boycott against all of your tweets.
I've come to avenge the death of my father. That's what it is. TJ Toppin learned.
Actually, today was the first day he got beyond the boycott and read it, but with your insulting one, I think you're boycotted again. So
that's right back on it. TJ Toppin learned a Robert Beta O'Rourke Pocahontas ticket would be great. Oh, just the lines
The
alone.
pretend Hispanic with the pretend Native American.
Indian.
And guess who's going to be Secretary of State? Rachel Dolezal. Sean King, Secretary of Defense.
Wow. Smells like teen statism. Learn people have a limited tolerance for drama person to person. The threshold is greater on social media for some reason. That's true because it's anonymity.
Yeah, you're right. I
And
think
people
you're right.
don't know who you are.
Yeah, you're kind of anonymous.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Let's see. James in Louisiana. I don't care what his name says. That's who he is always to me. The hole in the ozone layer in the late 90s wasn't formed from Aquanet. They discovered it helped to melt Antarctic ice, and it was a natural cycle bringing summer to Antarctica.
You ever notice this? The climate change nuts out there? The ones who are like climate change or whatever, and they bring up all these things. When's the last time you've heard them bitch about the ozone?
Right.
How about acid rain? Do you remember those days?
Oh, I remember acid rain.
Acid rain. As a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to melt.
Burn a hole right through your skull.
How come you don't hear about that?
Right?
Because they marketed it out. And in 10, 20 years or whatever, you won't hear anything about the climate change or this. They'll be on to some other environmental bull crap.
You have to pace yourself on these. Otherwise, people figure out it's a scam.
12 years, Brad. That's where you're at. We learned it from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that it's 12 years.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that has to be plugged in for people to hear it.
Sorry.
Sami Schick learned the CDC takes the control part of their name very seriously. As in, don't take your cock trick-or-treating this year. And finally, a 1/1024 Spook Taint Sleeve learned apparently the CDC is more concerned about cocks than peas. Sexist much? I'll just leave
Matt, I think we could just call this a day.
I think we
I didn't get to those new numbers on procrastination. I'll do those tomorrow. What else do we have coming up?
Tomorrow is a surfeit of topics and opinions designed to stimulate and delight the hypothalamus audiophiles and philosophers worldwide.
What's Matt Locke have coming up in the Conservative Cartel following us on Mojo 50?
Something about a Dodge Caravan that he bought in Mexico and is
that
driving
sounds interesting.
it here.
That sounds,
yeah, I think it's going to smell funny at the end of the trip.
All right, remember today's Daily Mojo, a Ron production.
Phillips.
Sic Semper Tyrannis. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. Anya, now you go home.
Yep.
Sign up. Give us your email address. Mojo50.com.